Hallelujah. All praises, glory, and honor to the Most High, owner, creator, and possessor of all things. The name and glory of his only begotten beloved Son, our holy Messiah, is currently sitting at his right hand right now as we speak. Long to the King of Kings, your brother Malachi Maccabee, honor, humility, STL. Y'all see the title, man. Thanksgiving is treason against the God of Israel. All right, so I'm gonna let a few of y'all get on up in here. Y'all see the title, man. Other spots. Hallelujah. Shalom. Judah's loyalty. This Haji, Shalom to the brothers and sisters world. Let me go ahead and share this. I need to share it on Facebook real quick. And then other social media, we're gonna get into it. I know y'all see the title. I know y'all like, what is treason, right? We gonna get into it. And even if any of the natives are your people, you understand? Even if you're under that vibration, like the natives are not Israelites, you did. You still like me. I don't celebrate the Holocaust. You did. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Even if you feel these are not your people, the fact that you celebrating something that's rooted in blood, robbery, rape, deception, the first forms of germ warfare and all type of stuff, man. You understand? And that's how this heathen got a foothold and ended up becoming a world power. You understand? It wasn't through great business ethics either. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? They just was good old, they hold tight to good old Judeo-Christian values and they believers in God. It ain't nothing like that. But this heathen, when you get down to it, is an animal. And how many more times do he got to show you that? Like he's showing you through his vibration who he really is. You understand? Some of y'all don't subscribe to the so-called our current oppressors as being Edomites. We're gonna get into his psyche or his conscience. Even if it ain't him physically, and which some of y'all believe, it did when we examine his conscience and what it is he really on, what is he about, and just trip off history. Everywhere he went, from conquering the people to taking on the identity of these people. You feel me? That's how this heathen gets down. All right. So what we're about to do is go over some scriptures. We're gonna go over a few articles. You feel me? And we just gonna get it done, man. We're gonna give all praises and glory to the Most High, and that's who you owe allegiance to. What the Most High got going on in His program. A lot of our people out here celebrating these folly days, not knowing the old thing. Even down to the Macy's parade they hold every year. You understand? That's an honor to who they call the Queen of Heaven. Thanksgiving is what's called a harvest festival. You see the horn baskets of fruit and all that. Those were offerings offered to several different goddesses and gods in the ancient realm. They honored the dead soldiers, so there's been sacrificing. It's usually attached to some type of game. There's always football being played. So you got a god, you got an offering, you got sacrifices. I mean, blood been spilled. You got games to keep you, you know what I'm saying, to keep you distracted, should I say? Like that's what's going on. Like loved ones, because they have the heart. So you know what? This is my last go around. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stand up and do what thus saith the Most High. That's how we supposed to be getting down. All right, let me share this in this one Facebook group right here. And then we're gonna get it on the Melchizedek chat group on Facebook. Dang. All right, then we're gonna get on down. And you feel me? And then again, y'all too, the last video that we did last Shabbat, I don't know if it's because of the internet connection over there we did that or whatever, but it don't come right on after them so-called ads. You did. If you let it sit for like 3 minutes, then it'll pop up. You understand? But our people don't have any patience. They like that video don't work. I'm like, hey, I understand, man. You did. So let me shout some of y'all out. I push Shalom, I Judah's loyalty, Yahoo. But now you out of Steel City, Shalom. What's the word? My sister Iris Stephens, Shalom, the Hebrew life. Yahoo. Make What is that? Mac Lo, Shalom, Shalom, Yakira, Sharon Taylor, Shalom, Tuvaya. Boy, the administrators in the building, huh? Now, what's up, Bob? The administrators in the building, all praises. Well, you got the axe, so you know anything out of box, you already know what to do. My sister Deidre, Shalom, Shalom, Wardy P. Dre, Sector the Nazarene, that's T Miyagi, T out of L. Shalom, Shalom, Kevin L. Green, Dre, Serpent Bloodline, yeah. All right, Rebecca Williams, Shalom. Yes, the Aboriginal natives are the most highest people. I just found out my family are Aboriginals, and it is treason. That's right. That's right. A lot of y'all believe that people are not. They must stop fronting. Most of us use the claim that we got Native American in us. All right, so it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? And even if these are not your people, the fact that you about to go hold hands and sing a kumbaya, and we wonder why, like we keep doing the very things that our oppressor does, and you wonder why he's still conquering you. You're vibrating on the same level he vibrates on. You're supposed to vibrate higher. You're supposed to be the example. You understand the standard setters and all that. That's how we supposed to get down, man. Feel me? Like we lust to do what our oppressor does when you done talking. You go, but it's for the family. We all get together and we're thankful. Like, look, we are supposed to be thankful every second that we got breath in our body. Every second that we got breath in our body, we're supposed to be thankful. Let me turn this phone down. Every day that we got breath in our body, we're supposed to be thankful. You understand? Food, clothing, raiment. I'm supposed to be content. The spirit of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wait till the fourth Thursday, the third Thursday of November to get when your oppressor is getting together. You understand? And he had to act like an animal to get power. And then the very next day, him go out for Black Friday, lose your mind over a flat screen TV. Y'all check the counting deaths for Black Friday. I'll just let you know all this is rooted in evil. You understand that, man? And the most high, his whole situation, how you work, honor, and praise in the scriptures. Understand? That's already going down. That's in the scriptures. I don't know why this thing. All right, there we go. There we go. And so we need to be standing. Right? If you claim you follow servant of the God of the Bible, then he has rules. The thing we are not to be doing is doing what our oppressor is doing. All right, articles, and y'all see what's really going on. You'll see that our people have adapted a culture that has nothing to do with God. You see the Messiah feasting on nothing like this. We have our own feasts. We have and I be destroyed. They was hunting us, you understand? So we stop being so standing. Well, you know, that's when we get together. Go eat with your mama the next week or something. Or go eat with your granny and your cousins and them the week prior. Why you gotta wait till when your enemy is getting down? See, we had a bit of compromising. And then all your answers are conditioned responses. Oh, because we all just getting together to eat. That's everybody's response. Especially if you brothers claim y'all in the truth, man. You dig? We've known brothers over the years that try to make excuses. You understand? Well, technically, and that's the one thing you don't want to be in as an Israelite or somebody that's devoted his life to the Most High. Stop playing the technical game. You understand? The loophole game. Stop that. You know in your spirit this thing is off. No, well, you know how the family getting together. I sure love my mama's cooking. I do too. You understand? But I ain't sat down and had a Thanksgiving meal, you understand? And going on 14 years. And I love my mama cooking, but I'm not coming over for that. I'm not coming over, you understand, to keep a day or a folly day that's clearly rooted in the I would understand and the dominance of my current enemy, man. Stop it. I'm mama cooking. Yeah, I love my mama cooking. Dig, lust. That's the problem. All right. So first and foremost, to see y'all up in here, can I be heard? Can I be heard? Give me a 7 if I, give me a 7 if I can be heard. Yeah, we're gonna get into that Proverbs. We're gonna get into it. Ima Patel, Shalom. In Yehuda, Shalom, Hebrew, Shalom, Shalom. Gaza City, Giddy, St. Louis 2. What up, Art? Shalom, Hebrew. Me and him had to go off on some lesbians last night. They got mad and fled about the house, boy. You. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. You believe in God? Yeah, I believe in God. The other one was like, higher power. It's breaking up a little bit. All right. Yeah, let me get everybody else off this Wi-Fi. Judea. Get everybody else this is choppy. Come here, baby. You got to sign off the Wi-Fi. Then bring me the phone. The boys got it too. They need to sign off their Wi-Fi. It's breaking up. Go on back in there, baby. Grab your car. Y'all gotta tell them they gotta log off their Wi-Fi. You bring me that phone. Okay. I turned it off. Yeah, you tell them log off this. Hey, watch out, get off the camera. Sorry. Go to your Wi-Fi, just log off of it. Okay. All right. What about their phone? They logged off. Everybody logged off? Yeah. Y'all stay in the room. Let me finish this lesson. I'll get y'all together shortly. All right, y'all. We about to go ahead and get started. I got scripture. Got about 17 to 20 scriptures pulled up already. But we're gonna read some of these articles, man. And then we're gonna see why is it treason. All right, why is it treason? Shalom, shalom. All right, so let's get this done. Let's get this done. I'm gonna do a screen share real quick. All right, do a screen share. And let's get some or establish some facts about what's really going on. We got about to go into Thanksgiving Day massacres and all that, man. Right? Stuff here is crazy. All right. This first one is from massacre.org. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen so I can have it. All right, and it's the real story of Thanksgiving by Susan Bates. All right. Hey, Malak. Yes. Hey, y'all gonna have to close that door and be quiet. Keep it down. All right. Let me finish what I'm doing. All right, y'all. About to screen share. Bing, bing. And make sure y'all can see that. Give me a 7 if y'all can see that. By Susan Bates. Shalom, Mikael Ben Israel. Shalom. Look at Dunny, Sean Dunn. That's my childhood partner right there. All praise to the Most High. I'm glad you tuned in. Poppy, what's going on? Mina J. All praises, glory down. Out the mud, watch me. Shalom, Angie 123. Shalom. Here's Native American. Yeah, look, I already know those is compromising Israelite conversations because niggas lusting to go eat that food. You understand? They don't even want to attack it from the angle of, well, it is a harvest festival as well. The horn basket of fruit is called a cornucopia. You understand? You go watch the Macy's parade. They're going to float the Queen of Heaven right through the parade. It happens every Thanksgiving. See, so I already know what Joker's going to try to go. That look, I done taught this for years. I done been around brothers that compromise. Been around brothers that got wreaths on their doors, Christmas trees up in the house, trying to appease their women instead of checking the situation. I done been around all that. So anything anybody try to bring out You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, well, that technically, get the hell out of here with that madness. The fact that you would even have the spirit to even sit down with somebody that massacred somebody else that showed them love is a problem. You see what I'm saying? And again, this ain't got nothing to do with us. Since when do our oppressors make feast days for us? Like, stop it, man. Stop it. Storming, they say Shalom Mally at the plantation. They looking at Brew crazy because I don't want none of this thing taking food. They catered or lunch. I'm good. Feast of dedication coming up. That's right, man. We got our feast coming up. You know what I'm saying? We got our feast. Our feast, matter of fact, what? December the 2nd through the 10th. And it's a similar situation. The heathens come in smiling, waving, and then they massacre our people. And it took for a few soldiers to stand up and say, man, we're going to bang for the Most High God and for our people, man. And to the Maccabean revolt, the Hasmonean dynasty, and to this day. You understand? We remember that, right? We have no reason to be trying to remember this, right? You don't owe no allegiance to America. You feel me? So we got to stop that. We hate the injustice. We hate the things that's happening with our people, but we turn around and vibrate on the same frequency that our oppressors vibrating on, man. Right? And try to make a damn excuse. Do something honorable for once in your life. Hell, everybody, since when everybody trying to appease everybody? Since when we've been in that spirit of trying to make everybody happy? You see? See, that's why a lot of people don't like following and worshiping the Most High, because, man, he gonna hold you to it. And that's why them lesbians ran up out of that house last night. You feel me? In Gaza City cut that. She said wife. We had looked over at that bro like, did she just say wife? That's my wife right there. That's your who? Man, we had to bring the axe out. Now, if we were some weak men, you feel me, that was just over there to try to get close to these women or something like that, then, you know, we'd have been all okay in the spirit of what? Compromising. We'd have been in that spirit. You feel me? Later for that, man. It's time for us to stand up and be honorable and speak the truth, period. Right? And look, worst case, when it comes down to it, none of this has anything to do with us. Right? None of this had nothing to do. Your enemy started this feast. Period. There ain't no getting around it. It's not even grounded in the scripture. All right. So what I got up on the screen, y'all. All right, what I got up on the screen is the real story of Thanksgiving. Right, Israelite conversation, like you owe no allegiance to the imposter Jews either. Do you celebrate the Holocaust? Hell to the no, exactly. Stop being an excuse a lot. If you don't believe natives are your people, you understand, at the worst case, this still ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah, I already know what it is, man. Niggas done got soft over the years. And I done watched it. I don't watch men that were perceived as great get weak because they mama cooking. So don't even act like, look, you can't even get that off over here. I already know the excuses. I know every angle Negro's gonna try to come at to try to justify any of it. If you don't believe the natives are your people, then what do you celebrate it for anyway? You don't believe they're your people. You're not standing up speaking against it. You understand? More than likely you down for it. So be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with us. All right, so look, let's get it. The real story of Thanksgiving, introduction for teachers, the Plymouth Thanksgiving story. All right, so let's get to this. All right, the real story of Thanksgiving. That's what it should say right there. Thanksgiving. Y'all don't forget that you own stolen property. Don't forget that. You own stolen property, man. And this heathen did not get this whole side of the earth through great business ethics. Y'all know that. You don't gain power in this existence or this realm by being diddly do neighbors. Your enemy has blood in his mouth. You know that. And the same thing that's been happening to you than happened to them natives, since you don't believe none of them your people. Same thing that happened to them. Thrown on slave ships, being hunted sun up to sundown. Stop it. Stop it. by Sue's Bates. Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast. And that did happen once. The story began in 1614. The story began in 1614. All right, when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full, of Patuet Indians bound for slavery. Hold on. You mean to tell me that they were thrown on slave ships and taken to England? A ship full of them? Of Patuet Indians bound for what? Slavery. Huh? Slavery. Sound familiar? It should sound familiar to a Negro in America, right? Trip off, how does he even get down? They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. So even the first form of germ warfare, weaponizing diseases, man, that was done back then. So this lets you know the level of witchcraft and black magic that these heathens were dealing with, man. Germ warfare. Germ warfare. You see that? Bound for slavery. They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuet Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived what? Slavery. Now, y'all heard about Squanto before, and Tonto and them, right? Who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. At the end of their first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags. But as word spread in England, trip off this. But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by the boatload. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be the public domain. Look at trip off that. Because they didn't find no fences nowhere. Now, this must be public property. I'm claiming this. Go into the psychology of your enemy, man. All right? Go into the psychology of your enemy. Just trip off of them. Right? And again, if you don't believe these your people, the same thing is happening to you. Right? Same thing is happening to you. Like you were saying in the spirit, these ain't my people, but then you over there eating and celebrating with big on them. You see? You know deep down this is some evil that happened. But just because you say, well, look, them ain't my people, you gonna do make an excuse. But ain't none of y'all celebrating the Holocaust. Ain't none of y'all celebrating 9/11. Huh? Anything anything to fit in with the heathen, anything to fit in with your current oppressor, you willing to do it. Check yourself. Ask yourself, why would I even if I don't believe that the natives are Israelites, why would I even be involved in this? Is it in the Bible anywhere? No, the Most High got Thanksgiving offerings. They were free will offerings, and it didn't happen the third Thursday in November. Y'all know that. They were free will thank you offerings. It had nothing to do with what went down here, that the heathen became dominant in what's called the Americas. It ain't got nothing to do with that. All right. All right, so right here, it says, called Puritans began arriving by the boatload, finding no fences. Trip off the psychology of the heathen. We don't see no fences. This must be mine. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be in the public domain. Joined by other British settlers, they seized land. I mean, they took it, y'all. They stole land. All right, they seized land, capturing strong young natives for what? Slaves, killing the rest. But the Pequot Nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Squanto had negotiated, and they fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. So you had a faction of natives that was like, man, later for that, we gonna die before we agree to some treaty. We'll die. You did, and you're gonna see the same thing happen in the book of the Maccabees. You understand? Same exact thing. The events leading up to the Feast of Dedication. Heathens come in waving, smiling. We all should be one people. We all can get along, right? But war was on his heart. In 1637, near present-day Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. So they waited till these brothers was already, or these people were already celebrating. See, I'm reading again. In 1637, in present-day Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. Wow. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries. Do y'all see that? Mercenary, somebody that's there to kill. Boy, that's a hired gun. That's a hired hitman. All right? Hired by the crown. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive. Do y'all see that? Yeah, and they celebrating a harvest festival already. You know what they do? Caught them while they was yawning. Caught them while they was yawning. And killed 700 men, women, and children. This is the psyche of your oppressor. This is how he got foothold and control, and eventually the control of this entire hemisphere. All right? This is how. And you don't get this type of power, you understand, that lasts for hundreds of years by being Ned Flanders. Diddly do. Now, that's what you see now. You've been conditioned to love America. You understand? You ain't tripping off the dead bones. You ain't tripping off the blood that soaks its soil. You ain't tripping off that. Right? You too busy what? Being a homeborn Negro that love your enemy. All right? It says a day of Thanksgiving because the next day, the governor, trip off this, they were burned alive. The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered. Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? The next day, after 700 men, women, and children, Native men, women, and children were murdered, whether shot or clubbed or burned. The next day, they declared a day of Thanksgiving for that victory. You see that? And you still want to hold on. You still want to hold on to the so-called vibration that everybody just can get along. It's just about eating. You ain't understand it, man. You don't understand how the world works, right? Why you think we feast for the Passover? Because our God delivered us and got at our enemies. You see? Now, which side you on? You think the Egyptians celebrate the Passover? No. No. And which side you on? You won't show up and feast just because the food smell good? And you already know it's abomination being cooked, shitterlings. You already know. Oh, what are they gonna tell you? Well, we know you don't eat this kind of food, but I fix some of your food and I put that in the pot over there. It's still made in the spirit of this holiday, man. Right? It's still made in the spirit of this holiday right here. And everybody know that, bro. So look, before anybody, and I don't care who it is, try to water this thing down and say, well, technically, we ain't playing no technical games. For one, you understand the Most High already gave us his blueprint on how to properly serve him. And this ain't one of them. Leave it at that. And now you're reading some history behind how this heathen became so powerful. You understand? And start ruling this whole entire side of the earth. Was it by being Ned Flanders or was it by being a mercenary? Was it by hunting blood and stealing land and burning men, women, and children? You tell me. All right. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. So they even had sellout natives with them. You see? Attacked village after village. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery. Sold into slavery, right? While the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. Do you hear that? We talking about slave ships. We talking about slavery. We talking about conquering. So they even had a bounty. Bounties were paid for those that scalped the natives to encourage as many what? Lives as possible, deaths as possible. See that? Following an especially successful raid against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut. Wow, Stanford, huh? Not Stanford. They got colleges up there, and they got basketball programs and football programs. Not Stanford, Connecticut. Huh? You don't even know the robbery, the deceit, the murder. You don't even know what had to happen just so you could be holding hands in a circle, inhaling abomination, claiming it's Thanksgiving. Trip off this, right? It says, read again, following an especially successful raid against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut, the churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving, huh? To celebrate victory over the heathen savages. Wow. During the feasting, the hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. So even the origin of sports on what's called Thanksgiving Day. You see that? Because football, as you know it now, didn't exist then, but soccer did. You see and that's what they call football. I said during the feasting. All right. Remember, victory over the heathen savages. During the feasting, the hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. That's why, look, you sitting up watching the game and cheering, and you don't even know the origin of none of this, man. Huh? You don't even know the origin. Even the friendly Wapanag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years. This is a sick, diabolical devil. You understand? Make no mistakes about it, man. Make no mistakes about this. Huh? His head off and kept it on a pole outside of Plymouth, Massachusetts for 24 years. Huh? Diddly do neighbor, huh? All right, so it must be something else. Trip off this. Trip off this. The killings became more and more frenzied. The killings became more and more frenzied with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre. So that's what I'm saying. You got people like, well, the first Thanksgiving and you ain't even tripping off all the events that led up to what you know is Thanksgiving today. Stop being simple with this thing, man. Stop acting like everybody fear your God. They don't. Right? It's several Thanksgivings that went down, and none of them friendly Bob. Every last one of them had an origin in some type of deception or some type of murder, man. Everything. Everybody still want to play around, though. All right, now trip off this. It says the killings became more and more frenzied with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre. These heathens were celebrating each and every massacre. Later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War. That was something else that was going on. We talking about the Civil War, right? Well, that was about you. That was about you, the slaves. All right. On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota. Trip off that. Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War. On that very day, he ordered troops to march against Sioux in Minnesota. Trip off that. Trip off that. This story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feelings associated with it as the one where the Indians and Pilgrims all sit down together at the big feast. But we need to learn our true history so it won't ever be repeated. Next Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank God for all your blessings, think about those people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families. they also took time out to say thank you to Creator for all their blessings. So again, y'all, that's an article right there by Susan Bates. You can go check that out. www.massacre.org. MANATAKA.org. All right. We'll check that out. All right. Next article. I want to read this real quick and then we're going to get into it. All right. All right. The next article is the massacre for which Thanksgiving. Yeah, I know. Technically, y'all bros, y'all got to kill that spirit, man. Get out that total technical spirit. Most requires of us to be obedient to Him, our allegiance to Him. Right? Not our oppressors. The massacre for which Thanksgiving is named. The massacre. All right. This is on American netroots.net. Native American netroots.net. All right. Thanksgiving Day celebrates a massacre. I'm going to go on up. Thanksgiving Day celebrates a massacre by William B. Noel. All right. William B. Noel, a Penobscot Indian and former chairman of the University of Connecticut. Oh, really? Really? Says that the first official Thanksgiving Day celebrated the massacre of 700 Indian men, women, and children. Do y'all see that? The first official Thanksgiving Day. You see? Official Thanksgiving Day. It was many days of Thanksgiving. Usually it was right after, you know what I'm saying, a slaughter of natives that they would do at Thanksgiving. Don't forget about the native's head who was on a pole outside of Plymouth for 24 years. Don't forget about the 700 men, women, and children that were murdered while they were sleeping, while they were up celebrating the night before. Don't forget about that. All right. It says that first official Thanksgiving Day celebrated the massacre of 700 Indian men, women, and children during one of their religious ceremonies. Thanksgiving Day was first proclaimed by the governor of then Massachusetts Bay in 1637 to commemorate the massacre of 700 men, women, and children who were celebrating their annual green corn dance. Thanksgiving Day in their own house, Newell stated. All right, that's a small snippet. Very next day, the governor declared a Thanksgiving Day for the next 100 years. Every Thanksgiving Day ordained by a governor was in honor of the bloody victory, thanking God that the battle had been won. Y'all see that? Without having the book or being able to see it online, the proclamation appears, according to Richard Drennan, to have come from William Bradford. I'll be buying the book. Thanksgiving Day was first proclaimed by the governor of then Massachusetts Bay Colony in 1637. That's from Newell, which was John Winthrop. But William Bradford became the governor after the first governor died in 1621. And in 1631, John Winthrop became the first elected official in America, governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. They were both Puritans, right? They both probably said it. Facing west, the metaphysics of Indian hating and empire building. The metaphysics, all right? Metaphysical, meta means beyond, physic means physical. So beyond the physical, meaning this is something spiritual that's taking place when it comes down to hatred of who you call the natives, right? The original Thanksgiving was marked by prayer and thanks for the untimely deaths of most of the Wampanoag tribe due to smallpox contracted from earlier European visitors. These heathens, was engaging in what's called germ warfare, weaponizing diseases like the CDC do today down in Atlanta. They weaponize diseases. Same thing. All right. Think about how sick and diabolical and twisted you have to be. Think about that. To weaponize a disease. You understand? Then, thus, when the pilgrims arrived, they found the fields already cleared and planted, and they called them their own. All right. He was inspired to issue a proclamation. This day forth should be a day of celebration and thanksgiving for subduing the Pequot. The authentic Thanksgiving Day was born. It was about murder, y'all. It was about the slaughter of innocent men, women, and children. You understand? Straight up and down. All right. All right. The following source cites Drennan in the next paragraph, so I assume the following came from Drennan as well. Source: jump 129 years to 1621, year of the supposed first Thanksgiving. There is not much documentation of that event, but surviving Indians do not trust the myth. Natives were already, y'all hear that? The surviving natives do not trust this so-called myth that everybody loved. How everything was all good and that ain't had nothing to do with the first one. Maybe the rest of them came, but the first one, no. He said, but surviving Indians do not trust the myth. Natives were already dying like flies thanks to European-born diseases. The Pequot tribe reportedly numbered 8,000 when the Pilgrims arrived, but disease had reduced their population to 1,500 by 1637. Man, they lost almost 7,000 members of their nation. All right. When the first officially proclaimed all Pilgrim Thanksgiving Day took place, at that feast, the whites of New England celebrated their massacre of the Pequot. This day forth should be a day of celebration and thanksgiving for subduing the Pequot. Read Massachusetts Bay Governor John Winthrop's proclamation. Few Pequot survived. I mean, and it's so much more, y'all. The first official Thanksgiving was gratitude for genocide in 1637. Y'all heard that? The first official Thanksgiving was gratitude for genocide in 1637. And in 1676 through 1677, a day was set apart for public Thanksgiving because nearly all of them were exterminated by them. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So all this is made up then. For you Negroes is trying to be sneaker lights and excuse-lights and technolights. Technically, well, you know, my mama biscuits, not my mama biscuits. Now you in that Martin spirit. Not my mama biscuits. Like all of a sudden you get weak because you smell the food of your mother or your grandma, right? Again, y'all, we're fighting against something that's unseen. We're fighting against spiritual wickedness in high places. So you got to think higher than what you're used to thinking. You got to vibrate higher and understand the origin of all this. You understand? And you can't say our people ain't in a spell around this time. Right after Thanksgiving on Thursday, that night, Negroes are going to go and spend the night outside of a store just so they can get a deal on a TV or some shoes or whatever, man. This is sickening. And then look, the heathen know, okay, they still suckers, right? They get 50% of their gross national product between Black Friday and December the 25th. That means 50% of all the revenue they earn all year comes within 1 month between Thanksgiving, you understand, and what's called Christmas. And you really think this has anything to do with being righteous? They already know your program. You understand? You ain't gonna ask no questions. You hear about deals, you hear about this, you full off your abomination. Oh yeah, by the way, come spend some more of that money and come shopping. That's what it's about. You're being exploited. All right. I'm gonna read a few more of these and then we're gonna get into some scriptures. I want to show some images too, man. So you can have it in your mind. See Sylvester Opp. They're here quoting the source, page 457. For expedients adopted by Massachusetts to obtain money to defend the frontiers, yet the number killed and sold, along with those who escaped, practically destroyed the warring Indians. According to the Massachusetts records of 1676 through 77, a day was set apart for public Thanksgiving because, among other things of moment, there now scarce remains a name or family of the natives, but are either slain, captivated, or fled. This is why they're celebrating. You understand? Because they realize that their enemy, you understand, who you call the natives today, have been destroyed. All right. In their victory, I'm gonna go down a little more. All right. It says, in their victory, the settlers launched an all-out genocide against the remaining native people. Trip off that. an all-out genocide against the remaining native people. The Massachusetts government offered 20 shillings bounty for every Indian scalp and 40 shillings for every prisoner who could be sold into slavery. Soldiers were allowed to enslave any Indian woman or child under 14 they could capture. The praying Indians who had converted to Christianity and fallen beside the European troops were accused of shooting into the treetops during battles with hostiles. They were enslaved or killed. Other peaceful Indians of Dartmouth and Dover were invited to negotiate to seek refuge at trading posts and were sold onto slave ships. Do y'all see that? Not the slave ships. All right. After King Philip War, there were almost no Indians left free in the northern British colonies. A colonist wrote from Manhattan's New York colony, "There is now but a few Indians upon the island, and those few no ways hurtful. It is to be admired how strangely they have decreased by the hand of God." That's what they call this, man. By the hand of God. Since the English, hold on. All right. Come down a little more. Since the English first settled in these parts, in Massachusetts, the colonists declared a day of public thanksgiving in 1676, saying, "There now scarce remains a name or family of them, the Indians, but are either slain, captivated, or fled." 55 years after the original Thanksgiving Day, the Puritans had destroyed the generous Wampanoag. Look, it's all about destruction. It's all about war and destruction. The whole thing is war and destruction. The Puritans had destroyed the generous Wampanoag and all other neighboring tribes. The Wampanoag chief, King Philip, was beheaded. His head was stuck on a pole in Plymouth where the skull still hung on display for 24 years. So it's basically second witness and everything else, man. All right. Furthermore, the continual historical context of the massacre for which Thanksgiving is named was in the context of slave-producing wars in New England. Slave-producing wars in New England. The war consisted of two battles, the Mystic Fight and the Swamp Fight. In the first of these two events, but 7 captured. In the Swamp Fight, about 180 captives were taken. Sachems taken in the swamp, promised that they guide the English to the retreat of Sassacas. The other men captives, some 20 or 30 in number, were put to death. The remaining captives, consisting of about 80 women and children, were divided. Some were given to the soldiers, where the gratitude does not appear. 30 were given to the Narragansett, who were allies of the English. So they even had sellouts too, man. Signed to Connecticut. All right. So y'all can finish reading that. I mean, it's all there, man. Just type in Thanksgiving Day Massacre and you'll start seeing certain things pop up. All of it was about murder, conquering, conquest, rape, robbery, germ warfare. And look, this heathen poured out so much hell on the natives, man. They was telling you in certain parts of the Americas, wasn't none of them left. You understand? Wasn't none of them left. Feel me? So, and it's similar because the same thing happened in Jerusalem when the Greeks came and sacked us during the times of what's called Hanukkah. All right. So I just wanted to let y'all see that. Also, what I got up here is treason. Y'all see the title. Thanksgiving is treason to the God of Israel. That's the definition of treason right here on dictionary.com. Let me scroll up a little bit. Dictionary.com. Treason. Sedition. Mean disloyalty or country or its government. Yeah, like you disloyal, deciding to keep a follower. All right. Most of our people don't even keep the days that's in the scriptures. Right? You down with what your oppressor is doing and wonder why he still got the control over you, because you're not choosing to vibrate higher. You're still vibrating at the same frequency as your oppressor. How? By doing what he does. By doing what he does. And nobody has the strength or the courage to say, look, later for all of it. Right? Even if you thought this wasn't nothing pagan, the fact that you still are willing to compromise, you feel me? And keep in memory something that's clearly gotten by treachery, by murder, by rape, by warfare, by destruction, by slavery. And how are we as so-called slaves even celebrating something like this? We should be celebrating the redemption of the slaves, man. That's why we celebrate Passover, Pesach. Treason is any attempt to overthrow the government. Where is the government of the Most High? It's supposed to reign in your minds. The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God is supposed to be something that's in your mind constantly. You understand? But when you start taking on the so-called religious traditions of man or the world, you understand? That's what you're doing. You're overthrowing the government or the kingdom of God that's present within you. Because the kingdom of God is about fulfilling God's righteous acts. It's not about doing what man say. I'm talking about on a religious level. All right. Treason is any attempt to overthrow the government or impair the well-being of a state to which one owes allegiance. We owe our allegiance to the most high in his kingdom, which is supposed to reign supreme in your minds. All right. The crime of giving aid or comfort to the enemies of one's government. That's what I'm saying. What are you doing giving comfort? What are we doing trying to comfort those, you understand, that clearly do not worship the most high? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's okay. Everything will be okay. Oh, I'm just thankful for my job. And come on, man. Come on, man. We already know. Tell you, you can't call evil good. You can't call evil good. All right. So if y'all getting some understanding thus far, go ahead and throw a 7 up in there. Y'all forgive me, my phone and died. All right. See if I can check some of these comments you did. But we're going to Psalm 78 next. And this is for our people. And again, y'all hit like, y'all hit share, send it to your family members. You understand? We went through a little bit of history. All right. 2 witnesses, 2 different articles. Now we about to go through the scripture. We're about to go through the scripture. Then you're going to see. You're going to see what it is. You feel me? How the Most High already gave us. We already under covenant. This right here on the phone, on the computer screen, y'all, are images. Once you type in Thanksgiving Day Massacre, these are images, man. Look, these heathens ain't hiding nothing from y'all. These heathens are not hiding nothing, because even when you find out, what you gonna do about it? You're gonna continue to do it. You ain't gonna be honorable and say, man, I'm not doing none of that. That's how he loses power. The heathen loses his power, y'all, when we stop doing what he does. That's how he loses. Like, dang, they ain't doing that. They not falling for the shopping trick no more. They not doing none of this at all, no more. Not at all. Not at all, man. All right. All right. So we all good. Look like. Yeah, it's deep. It is steeped in savagery. That's right. Poppy Shoe. That's right. All praise. So I'm glad y'all getting some understanding. So look, what y'all see right here, these are just a few images I want to show. You understand? Never be under the impression that like these so-called heathens or our current oppressor, you feel me, has the spirit of the Simpsons. Stop that. You feel me? It's a reason why a lot of us grew up watching The Simpsons, right? And it's to give you this watered down version of the behavior and the psychology of your oppressor, man. These heathens do not act like that. They don't act like that, man. You feel me? And they did not get this power and this influence by being Ned Flanders, diddly do neighbors, or Joel Osteen. You know, just laugh and love, and that ain't how this heathen got his power. You understand? He came conquering. And now, being that you and most of y'all claim you ain't slaves no more, you understand? So you got the free will to stand up and do that which is honorable. And we still don't even want to do it, man. We still don't even want to do it. All right. All right. So these are a few images. That's a heathen about to hack off the arm of a sister. If you see over here, it's a baby laying dead right over here. You see? Show y'all some of these natives, I mean, some of these images, should I say. So you can understand that this heathen, and look, these are images they draw. They draw all this stuff, man. Look at this. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. All right. That's them being charitable. Sure. Hey, true about this right here. I like this one. It says Thanksgiving is a time to remember all that we have and the genocide that it took to get it. I like that one. The genocide. Huh? Straight up. No doubt prayers like her. My grandma. My grandma was very dark, boy, but had that wavy type hair down to her shoulders. Real talk. All right. More slaughter, more destruction. And they had heathens on their side. I mean, they had, sell out so-called natives on their side too. You understand? It's just the truth. May the Most High bless you, brother. All right. There go to football. It was gonna be Dallas against the Redskins. These heathens do not care, man. These heathens do not care. Look at him. Now look why he just grabbed his hand right here. Grabbed his hand like he just in control of him. Go a little further. All right, right here. It's a dark skin. That don't look like no white boy. All right. It says white men tell the children that their ancestors settled here, when the truth is that they invaded us, they murdered us, and they raped us until we barely existed. Happy Thanksgiving. What these heathens ain't. This is Thanksgiving being held, turkey steam coming off the turkey, but again, on the dead bones and blood of those that were slaughtered and massacred. See? This is serious, man. This is nothing to play around with, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. That's a trench right there. Well, that's a trench. That's a 6-foot grave, basically. It's a trench. You just throw bodies down in there. And you don't see nothing wrong with this, though. That ain't why that ain't why I don't do that, because everything is about me and I. You never go check the origin of stuff, man. If that's the case, you can put your own spin on anything. Put your own spin on witchcraft, murder, black magic, and then come around 100 years later and say, well, that's not why I do what witches do. Stop it. Stop it. You see this right here. It says Indian land for sale. Get a home of your own, easy payments, perfect title, possession within 30 days, find lands in the West, irrigated, grazing, agricultural, dry farming. Indian land for sale. These heathens, boy, I'm telling you, talking about heathens. Right here. All right, it says massacre, murder, and mayhem, the true story of Thanksgiving. You feel me? And our people, it's time for us. And look, y'all, it start with us. It start with us individually, man. Take a stand and be honorable. The Most High love that. He love when those stand up. There's a scripture in the Bible where he said, who gonna stand up for me against the evildoers? Who gonna rise up for me? And see, that's what the Most High looking for. Feel me? When you get comfortable, you can't grow. You'll never be great like that, being all comfortable and compromised, and my woman ain't all the way in the truth yet, so I don't want to, make her mad. And man, look, you better be a man. You better take control. You understand, of your house, man. You better take control. You understand? Take the bull by the horns and establish order. That's how the Most High work. What the scriptures say, blessed are who? The peacemakers. You got to make peace. You got to establish order. You can't play around with this thing just because a woman mouth poked out. You understand? Men better man up. You dig? You better man up. Stop being so in the spirit of go along to get along. No, this ain't what this is about. All right? This ain't what this is about. Stand up and be great for once in your life. And you'll see you be respected for it later on. People be like, nah, I mean, I don't like him, but I don't mention nothing about that to him. He gonna cut us. Them so-called lesbians learned that lesson last night, boy. Y'all should see what they fled about it, boy. Thanksgiving, a Native American genocide. So there were a few pictures right there. I just want to show y'all. There's plenty more, man. There's plenty more. There's plenty more. These devils ain't right. Burning villages and all that. All right. Well, let's get into some of these scriptures. That's what we're here for anyway. It's a script. I'll get into these scriptures. We're going to Psalm 78 next. Psalm 78, we're going to read 1 through 11. This is to encourage our people. Again, y'all hit share, y'all hit like. All right? We want our people to at least see something like this and be like, you know what? I ain't getting down no more. I'm cool. Right? And if we get one person, y'all, them good numbers. Them good numbers. And for y'all that don't know, you can't come into this worship or this way of life, you understand, in the mindset of, well, I'll do it if my whole family do it. Your whole family is not going to get the truth. You understand? The Messiah had brothers that didn't believe in him. He had brothers that didn't even believe in him. What makes you think you're going to get your whole entire family? The Most High said, I'm only taking a few of a family, only a few of a city. Right? Count yourself blessed to receive what the Most High has for you. You understand? It was foreordained. Don't be in the mindset of who you call Esau, right? Who despised his birthright. He despised the blessings of the Most High because he was hungry. You see, he was hungry. All right, so it is what it is. All right, so this is what we got right here, y'all. Psalm 78, we're going to start at verse 1. Psalm 78, 1 through 11. It says, give ear, O my people. My is a pronoun that implies possession. Remember that. Give ear, O my people, to my law. All right, not the tradition of me and my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children. You see that? That's the spirit you're supposed to be in, man. We supposed to be declaring the mighty works of the Almighty, the mighty works of the Most High, and not hiding them from our children. You see? No matter what you got going on, man, you're going to find out if you stand up and be honorable and uncompromising in this truth, you will be blessed. You understand? Man arms are too short to box with the Almighty. If you are here in the spirit of not compromising, you understand, and by any means necessary doing the will that the Most High has instilled in you, the Most High, Yahweh, will fight for you, man. All right? Even when it look hopeless, he got you because you stood up for him against the evil. All right? We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of Yod-Heh and his strength and his wonderful works that he have done. Verse 5. Verse 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children. This is what you make known to your children. The commandments, the laws, the statutes, the prophecies, all of it that's in the scripture. You make that known to your children, man. And that's a commandment of the Most High. You see? That's a commandment. Not for you to get all weak in belief and, all nervous. Dang, I'm going to go around here and, all my uncles and my aunties going to be over here. They're going to be joning. You a who? Here come Moses. You're going to have to get past that. You're going to have to get past that. And that was one reason why when I first got into the understanding, I had to seclude myself. I had to go off into seclusion and isolation. I had to straight learn it because I wasn't about to be in front of my family and they think like I'm finna be nervous. No, when I come around, y'all gonna be nervous. Y'all already had that talk. Look, don't mention nothing about the Bible. Don't mention nothing about the news. Don't say nothing. Make sure the convo is real brief with him because he's going to go into that Bible. I'd rather it be that than me coming around walking on eggshells and needles. You feel me? Because I'm nervous somebody may know that I'm an Israelite. I don't get down with the ways of the world. I come around bold. Wanting you to ask me something. You see? That's the spirit you got to be in, man. All right. Other than that, you find yourself partaking. All right. And look, you should rather have man mad at you 7 days out of the week than the Most High power, man. I don't care how many men and women and children get mad or how many spouses get me. So what? What that mean to me? Huh? Less than nothing. We got to stand up, man. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born. That's us, y'all. Who should arise and declare them to their children. See, that they might set their hope in the Most High and not forget the works of Yahweh. How are you keeping Thanksgiving, remembering the works of the Most High? When everything about it, the origin of everything about it was rape, robbery, murder, bloodshed, deceit. Hell, they even chopped off some heads on Thanksgiving and kicked them around like soccer balls. You understand? And y'all can't wait for the Turkey Day game. What spirit are we vibrating in, man? Come on, man. We got to be real with this thing, man. All right. It says right here that they might set their hope in Yahweh and not forget the works of Yahweh, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. So there's a time coming for y'all that's in this truth. The time has come to where the Most High say, look, there are going to be children born that's going to stand up and do that what's right. Right? That they forget not the works of the Most High and might not be as their fathers. Are you a revolutionary or not? Because if it's not you, it's going to be the generation after us or after them. Somebody going to have to stand up and not be like our rebellious fathers. Huh? A generation that did not set their mind aright and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. You feel me? Because the Negro does what he wants to do. That's how I get down. That's the vibration. Do what you want. Right? Verse 9. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of Yahweh and refused to walk in his law and forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. And most of our people, man, celebrate this stuff and don't even remember the mighty works the Most High did for us. You know, splitting the Red Sea and drowning the Egyptian army. Huh? Or when the Assyrians was outside our wall, we prayed to the Most High Yahweh, man. We prayed to the Most High Yahweh, and the Most High sent one angel and killed 185,000 of them. 185,000 of them in one night while they were sleeping and fighting. That's the power you got. See that? We got to be real what we're talking about, family. Let's stop compromising and playing the technical game, right? Oh, yeah, I just want to see my people. Man, you can go see your people whenever. What are you talking about? Especially in this information age. Come on, what you mean see your people? You can FaceTime, you can do Skype, you can do all type of stuff. We got to stop playing, man. Either we're going to be real with this thing or not. And either you're going to have in your mind, I don't care who get mad. What they got to do with me? All right. Psalm 105 is where we're going next, family. Psalm 105, verses 1 through 10. Psalm 105. You're going to have people out there water it down. Well, you know, technically, when you hear that, understand that's the enemy. That's the enemy. You understand? Scripture tell you woe unto them they call good evil and evil good. That's some evil that happened. Evil. Huh? Hell, even had the leader of the tribe had his head on a stake for 24 years. What are we talking about here? 24 years. You feel me? We gotta be real in what we doing, y'all. All right. All right, this is where we at next. Psalm 105, we're gonna read 1 through 10. Psalm 105, 1 through 10. Shalom lakam to all entering the room, meaning peace to you all. You understand? All praise to the Most High. TT Noah in the building, Noah Tay. Shalom, my sister. Shalom, shalom. All praise, glory, and honor to the Most High, the owner, the creator, and the possessor of all things. Good to see y'all. All right. And y'all also was it also was requested that we do like on New Year's, on a so-called New Year's Eve, that we do like a marathon, like a 24-hour session for the most part. I don't know how long they'll let us stay live. You dig? But if we can do like, you know, probably get like 6 bros, do like 4 hours a piece. That's 24 hours right there. You feel me? So we may be doing that too. You know what I'm saying? Why Israelites sneak off to try to bust their guns for what's called New Year. You feel me? You got brothers out here busting their guns and all that, man, for New Year. There, you missed it. You missed it, bro. It was either the Pequot native or the Wapanag. One of the chiefs, these heathens on Thanksgiving, chopped off his head They kicked around the heads like soccer balls, chopped off his head, and put it on a stake and left it up there for 24 years outside of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Huh? They didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, right? Yeah, Plymouth. You heard about Plymouth before? Yeah. You I heard talking about some happy Thanksgiving. Stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we love to eat. Yeah, I love my mama's cooking. You understand? You love it. You did? But she can cook for us whenever. I won't be over there for Thanksgiving. Right? So I can't, even though I love my mama cooking, I can't use that as an excuse to go partake in something that's clearly rooted in bloodshed, rape, robbery, murder, germ warfare, slavery, castration. Man, y'all crazy. That info is for you out. So you can see what we got when we reading it at. Massacre. All right. First one I went to is let me go ahead and put it on up in there. Bro said he missed it. All right. The one, the real story of Thanksgiving. Really, I just typed in Thanksgiving Day massacres, man, and a lot of that stuff started popping. All right, I found a few articles, and then this one right here is on Native American. Go ahead and put that up there too. Y'all can go look this stuff up. It ain't a game. Ain't a game, man. Native American net roots. Net roots. All right, .net. Check that out. All right, so that's my mailman Malak Ban Yasha Allah. Let's put the two links up in there. Back through them because I read through a few of them right there. All right, so check them out when you get a chance, bro. All right, multiverse. All right, back to Psalm 105. All right, 1 through 10. Oh, give thanks unto your why. Call upon his name. Who you giving thanks to? The Most High, man. Call upon his name. Make known his deeds among the people. Right? We're supposed to always rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High. Always. Sing unto him. Sing praises unto him. Talk ye of all his wondrous works. Glory ye in his holy name. Glory ye in his holy name. Part of them rejoice that seek Yahweh. Seek Yahweh and his strength. Works that he have done. All right. And that's y'all. Remember his works. We already got our feast days. Read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. All right. Read the book of the Maccabees, the dedication that the Messiah even kept in John the 10th chapter. That's what they call Hanukkah today. You understand? Purim, that's another one. Purim. You dig that book of Esther? We already got feasts. We already got times in which the Most High delivered us and we gave him thanks. This is nothing. Nothing. I'm his servant. Right? Ye children of Yaakov is chosen. He is Yahweh our power. He have remembered his word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law and to everlasting covenant. So we already got the under covenant already. See, we already got everything that the Most High requires for us to worship him in spirit and truth. We have already. Right? Why are we just talking about? It makes no sense to even be dealing with them. All right? It is what it is. That's right. A lot of brothers claiming half Indian and partaking the full Thanksgiving. Stop it, man. Stop it. All right. And this right here, next we're going to go to, and this is for any of our people that may just now finding out what this Israelite thing is, or, you know what I'm in what's called these so-called folly days, even in what's called Testament, after the Messiah had died, resurrected, you understand, and was already sitting at the right hand of the Heavenly Father. All right. This right here is 1 Corinthians 5. He still kept peace in what's called still kept it. All right. 1 Corinthians 5 to 8. That 11, if the whole lump purge out therefore the may be a new lump, ye are unleavened, but even our past is sacrifice for us. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. The unleavened bread of sincerity. See that? You see? So let's keep the feast. The scriptures tell you exactly what feast to keep. And then in that case, that's the Passover. Even after in the new I had already died and or was crucified and resurrected, we still were honored that were given to us through the administration of Moses. That's in the spiritual, the spiritually to us. When we realized the connection what Moses gave us, and then the actual life and walk of it became more spiritual to us. All right, so they sound it. Y'all with me? Try to. All right, next scripture we're gonna go to is 22 and 23. Side feast of second issue. All right, it's our winter feast. That's what you're supposed to be keeping, not Thanksgiving. All right. All right, John 10, 22 through 23. Sound a bit choppy still. All right. Let me try to get this together for y'all. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, bro, say real choppy, breaking up. Let me look at my. Let me look at all of y'all. See. All right. Hopefully that works. And if y'all can hear me, put a 7 up in there. Put a 7 up in there. Better now. And you hear me? Can you hear me? Yahoo, 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 Yahoo. Screen is up. So you cutting in and out. All right, y'all know about wires, man. Wi-Fi. Y'all can hear me? Okay, cool. All right. Look like my internet signal is pretty strong. We looking pretty good. All right, we good. Hallelujah. All right, so look, the next feast right here is coming up December 2nd through the 10th. And if y'all want any information on that, get with Noe Tay right here on the comment board. You understand? Get with her, and we throwing a nice feast down here for the Feast of Dedication. Y'all more than you know saying welcome. Chop it up what you're done. If it's choppy, refresh your window, close out, and come right back, work sometime. All right. John 10, 22 through 23. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication. And it was winter. See that? And Yahushua walked the porch. So we see right here, y'all. We see right here that the feast of dedication in Jerusalem is in the wintertime. You see? And the Messiah was in the temple. You know anything about the feast of dedication? All right, you know anything about the feast of dedication? You know they got everything to do with us rededicating the temple. And the Messiah is in the temple, you understand, during the feast of dedication, which was rededicated, you understand? And those events happen roughly the same amount of time between us and Frederick Douglass, us and Harriet Tubman. That's how close in history the Messiah was. The Messiah would have never had a temple to teach in when he was walking this earth. Because remember, they came in and defiled the temple. All right. Hey, well, we gonna get to it actually be reading about the Feast of Dedication. Starting because one of the brothers was saying we should start reading, we should do a chapter or 2 chapters of video. All right, but the Feast of Dedication rough is when in Jerusalem, like 168 years before I was born, the Greeks poured into Jerusalem and Hellenized our people. Hellenized meaning enforced a Greek way of living, a Greek way of life, a Greek culture on our people. Anybody that were caught being an Israelite was put to death. Any woman that circumcised their sons were put to death, and the babies were hung. Anybody found with a Bible, the scriptures were burned, they were put to death. You dig? So the Greeks came in like, we come in here. But then there were brothers that stood up. All right, Matthias had several sons. One of them was Judas Maccabees, where you get the book of the Maccabees from. And he was the leader of the army. And he stood up, and the Most High was with him. You understand? And he laid them heathens down. Right? So I got a few of that. That's on the list today. I'm going to read basically what happened. It was what happened to us. You understand? When the Greeks came in. They came in speaking peacefully and diddly-do neighbors and all that madness you did. All that madness, and then put us to death. See? We got to be ready to rock, man. That's what the dedication is about. And had not those brothers stood up and rededicated the temple because the Greeks came in and enforced their worship on us. But they went to our temple. They sacrificed pig blood. They were sacrificing pigs on the altar. They were having their ways with harlots in the temple, man. They had holes in the temple, in the sanctuary, sacrificing pig's blood. Then they put up the altar of their god Jupiter on top of the altar of our God. It was a direct slap in the face. You feel me? So then the brother spirit was put on the brothers to stand up, the Maccabee, and then they stood up and went to war, and they reclaimed the temple and rededicated. You understand? Built new altars and all that. Everything that was defiled had to get cleansed and rededicated or put out the temple. And had not them brothers did that, when you read in the New Testament about the Messiah being in the temple teaching, he wouldn't have had a temple to teach in. Had not the brothers 168 years earlier stood against wickedness, Greek tyranny. You feel me? So that we remember that. And you see right here in John chapter 10, the Feast of the Dedication, the Messiah is in the temple. You understand? And it's the Feast of Dedication in Jerusalem. So I just want to show some of our people there, because some people are like, well, if I don't do Thanksgiving, what am I supposed to do? If I don't do Christmas, what am I supposed to do? Feast of the Dedication, Feast of Tabernacles. We got feasts in every season for us to do already. And your pastor should be teaching you that. Next scripture is John, the 7th chapter. John 7, we're going to read 1 through 2, 14 and 18. So we just went over the Passover. I went over dedication. And look, this is in the New Testament. All right? This is the New Testament we're talking about here. All right? So John 7, I'm going to read 1 and 2. After these things, Yahweh shall walk in Galilee, where he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him. So the religious leaders of our people were trying to kill the Messiah because he was exposing them for the frauds they were. Right? Now, the Jews' Feast of Tabernacles was at hand. That is called the Jews' feast, but when you read Leviticus 23, it's the Moedim, or the appointments of Yod-Heh-Wah, God of Israel. Right? It's just called the Jews' feast because they're the ones that keep it. All right? All right, so verse 14, and we're going to jump down to 14. Now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught. Again, he wouldn't have had a temple to go teach in had not the brothers rededicated the temple 168 years earlier, after the Greeks came in there and enforced their worship and way of life on us. But it never been a... All right, so he went up into the temple and taught in the midst of this feast, because this feast is roughly 8 days. So halfway through the week, he go into the temple to teach, right? And it says right here, and the Jews marveled, they was astonished, right? And the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? They like, he never came to none of our schools of thought. He ain't a part of our seminary. He not a part of our, you know what I'm saying? He not one of our students. How he know the Hebrew and he ain't on record being taught the Hebrew anywhere? Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not, but he is that sent me. Huh? So the Messiah come and die and resurrect for you to do what you want to do. Because he tell you his doctrine is the doctrine of who? His doctrine is the doctrine of his Father, the one who sent him. That's his doctrine. You feel me? And his Father's doctrine is where? In the Scriptures. If any man would do his will, what y'all doing? If any man would do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Y'all see that? You see that? So he like, look, he start teaching, but no, it's just the Feast of Tabernacle. Then he go into the temple and he have a discourse or a dialogue with those that were astonished at what he was teaching, because they like, how he know the letters? How he know the Hebrew? He's like, look, my doctrine is not mine, but it's him that sent me. The teaching I teach, I got it from my Father. Right? If any man does of the Father, he shall know of the, whether it be of Yahweh or whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. Messiah didn't seek his own glory, but he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. So I just want to show y'all in the New Testament as well, there are feasts that are supposed to be kept. And it ain't Halloween, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. None of that. Veterans Day, Columbus Day, Valentine's Day. It ain't nothing. All right? When we going to be obedient and do what we called to do and vibrate on a higher frequency, man. That's how this heathen loses power. When you realize that you are the money, when you realize you are the precious commodity, that we are the image of the Almighty, when we stop doing what our enemies are doing, that's how he loses power. All right? It ain't about, you know what I'm saying, trying to overthrow the government with guns. It ain't about all that. It's just simply about us loving each other, loving our God, loving each other, and stop doing what our enemies are doing. And he falls. All right? And he falls. It's that simple. All right? So right here, y'all, Acts 20 and 6. And we sailed away from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread and came unto them to Troas in 5 days, where we abode 7 days. All right? So notice it said the days of unleavened bread. Y'all, that's the Passover. You see that? That's the Passover. After the days of unleavened bread. So during the feast, he's like, look, we're not finna sail or travel. We're going to enjoy this feast. All right? Verse 16. Paul had determined to sail by Ephesus because he would not spend the time in Asia, for he hasted, if it were possible, for him to be at Shalom, Jerusalem, the day of Pentecost, which is the Feast of Weeks. Chag Shavuot. Huh? You read about that in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So again, y'all, we reading about what we supposed to be doing in the scripture. And even after the Messiah was crucified, resurrected, and ascended, there are still feasts that was given through the administration of Moses. You understand? That we as followers of Mashiach should still be keeping. Just understand the high spiritual significance of it. There's a deeper understanding to it. For those of us that believe in the Mashiach, there's a higher spiritual understanding to it. You understand? All right, so next we're going to go to Isaiah 5 and 20. This is where it gets good at, because it's going to go into why we are not supposed to be doing what the enemy does. This is why. This is why. All right, so if y'all got understanding thus far, go ahead and throw a 7 up in there. Throw a 7 up in here if y'all got some understanding thus far. All praise, glory, and honor. It seems as if we not choppy anymore. I had to turn off my Wi-Fi connection as well on my phone. And it looked like that worked for us. Mina J. Shaw Eleazar. Shalom. That's right, Pop. Okay, 7. Everybody got the 7s. Hallelujah. We want to thank the Most High for allowing us to come together and break bread. This is breaking bread, y'all. We are feasting spiritually. You see? And don't get me wrong, I love some good lawful food. Don't get it twisted. You understand? If I'm ever invited somewhere by one of y'all and you know some of them Some of them daughters of Zion know how to cook. It will get handled. Believe that. It's just I'm not into keeping anything that's in the spirit of my oppressor. Nothing. I'm cool. I'm good. Nothing. All right. So don't like I ain't nowhere near shy. Matter of fact, I was eating some of no, I ate some of your chili yesterday. I was over there with your husband. Yeah, man, no, it made chili. I'm like, yeah, a couple bowls of that. I need me a couple of bowls of that. That's right. No eating food sacrificed to idols. We gonna hit that too. We'll hit that too. And if for some of y'all this you bougie, then you're gonna be on some. Well, what idol, y'all? This Thanksgiving is called a harvest festival. Y'all ever seen the horn baskets that they offer of fruit? That's called a cornucopia. All right, that's something offered in homage to who's called the Queen of Heaven, the very worship that we got into in Jeremiah 44 that the Most High condemned us for. And when you gonna see this Queen of Heaven? Look at the Macy's parade. Macy's parade go down every Thanksgiving. One of the floats that's gonna be floated through there will be the Queen of Heaven. All right, so now we got God. We got offerings to that God. We even got those that have been sacrificed. What they gonna do? They're gonna remember who? The troops that's fighting overseas for democracy, a demonocracy. You got you got everything in place and feasting. You got everything in place, including the false God. And they're gonna keep you distracted by doing what? Sports. It's the same thing that happened. It's the same thing that happened on Thanksgiving back then where they chopped off the heads and kicked the heads around like they were soccer balls. That's right, Matthew Smithson, cornucopia, Mary worship, female god, Catholic theology. All right, that's what it is. Them horn of plenty, yeah. Man, look, it's all type of things. All right, so we in Isaiah 5, y'all. Isaiah 5. We're going to read verses 20 through 24. It says, woe unto them. Woe, y'all, means a destruction. Judgment is coming unless you repent. That's what woe means. All right. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Okay. And that's what's happening here. You call something that happened that was evil, you call that good. The scriptures say, woe unto you. Woe unto you that call good evil and evil good. And it's crazy because our people call Thanksgiving good, but won't even celebrate Passover. Call Passover evil. Oh, that's done away with. Huh? They'll try to transform something that's clearly satanic, such as Halloween, All Hallows Eve, into a trunk or treat. Come on, man. We understand this is evil. And the Most High say, woe unto them they call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. So everything is upside down or backwards in Babylon. Remember that. All right. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them. Destruction unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Okay. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, and look, we justifying the wicked when we calling this celebration good, y'all. You justifying the wicked. There ain't nothing you read that was righteous. There ain't nothing you read that was righteous. Look, y'all, even when we go to war, our laws are so powerful. Even when we go to war in the Torah, there are laws on how we deal with this. There are laws on how we deal with warfare. I'll give an example. If you went to war and saw somebody that you desired, you understand, you were supposed to bring her into your house. She's supposed to shave her head and cut her nails, and you were supposed to allow her to bewail her parents for 30 or 40 days. After she mourns her parents, then she becomes one of your wives. You say that sounds like savagery. How you gonna say that when the United States of America is all through Iraq and the Mid East? They just rape the women and leave them, or rape them and kill them. Huh? That ain't savagery. Even in warfare, we have laws we have to abide by. You understand? You ain't just finna have sex with this woman and kill her, or rape her and leave her. You understand? If that's what it is, and y'all don't want the war, and we done put the men down or whatnot, You understand? Oh, that's somebody. That's a woman you want to add to the fold. Well, these are the rules you must abide by. We even have laws governing warfare. These heathens don't. They do. They claim the Geneva Convention, but they don't abide by that, man. They don't abide by it. You dealing with a heathen that have the only heathen to drop nuclear. You dealing with a heathen boy that straight hellfire missile whole villages, men, women, and children. Stop it. Stop it, man. All right, so this right here. This right here. Verse 24. So we don't be in the spirit of justifying the wicked. That ain't what you want to do. All right. Or justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. 24. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumes the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and the bosom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the way of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Do y'all see that? Y'all see that? And our people so called into tradition. That's another thing. When you try to talk to them about the commandments, we try to talk to them about the commandments and the law and how we're supposed to be ordering our lives. I mean, even in a church song, order my steps in your word. You don't even know what you're saying. You're asking the Most High to order your steps according to his word, right? But his word is totally different than how we've been raised. Because you wouldn't be doing man-made traditions that's rooted in wickedness, such as thanksgiving. And y'all know that. All right. Next scripture we're going to go to, y'all, is Proverbs 17. Proverbs 17, we're going to read verse 15 and verse 19. Y'all all over the place. Y'all dealing with folly days, and you're not a commandment keeper. All while claiming you love the Almighty. Stop it. Stop it. Somebody been lying. Somebody been lying. That's the problem out here. All right. We got to stay focused in what we're doing. All right. Proverbs 17. Jay, look like y'all granny just pulled up. Proverbs 17, 15 and 19. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to Yahweh. Y'all heard that? He that justifies the wicked. That's what you're doing when you're saying really, technically, well, technically, you're trying to justify the wicked. You know there's wickedness that happened to establish a stronghold, to establish this so-called situation right here in America. You know it was wicked. We didn't read nothing that was righteous, did we? What did we read that was righteous? Nothing. He that justifies the wicked, and he that condemns the just, even they both are abomination to Yahweh. It's about that, right? Verse 19. He loveth transgression that loveth strife. This heathen got blood off, and everybody knows. To this day, he conquering. To this day, he pillaging and villaging and raping and doing what he want to, shooting hellfire out of the sky. You think you going to a funeral or a wedding and you just reserved for the judgment, man. Like they did with old Jihadi John. They melted him. Old Jihadi John thought he was doing something years ago. Well, they melted that heathen by dropping what's called a hellfire missile, right? He, your enemy, loveth transgression that loveth strife. He loved to fight. And he that exalteth his gate seeketh destruction. America has been exalted. They love strife. They love transgression, right? And they do what? They exalt this kingdom right here. So in that spirit, you ain't doing nothing but seeking destruction. And that's the truth. Proverbs 3, 31 through 32. Next one. Proverbs 3, 31 through 32. Glad y'all getting some understanding, man. Write these scriptures down. Go back over them. There's plenty of scripts on the matter. You understand? But it'd be good to give y'all visuals and history as well. So you don't get caught up in the Ned Flanders spirit diddly do neighbor. So you get caught up in that. So you don't get caught up into that. Something you do not want to get caught up in, thinking that everything is A-OK when everything that's happening is a vibration that's not of the Almighty. All right? That's not of the Almighty. All right, so next scripture is Proverbs 3, 31 through 32. Not and choose none of his ways. Do y'all hear that? The Bible commands us not to be jealous of our oppressor and to choose none of his ways. This is a way of the enemy. This is a way of your oppressor, right? And even if you think the natives are not your people, it's the same thing that happened to them happening to you right now. The very thing that these heathens did to them, they is happening to you. So even if you thought they wasn't your people, the same thing is happening. Right? And choose none of his ways, for the forward is abomination to Yahweh. You hear that? So if you in the spirit of envying your oppressor and choosing his ways, you're forward in the eyes of the Almighty. And that makes you an abomination. But his secret is with the righteous. All praises. All praises, glory, and honor. Psalm 55. Psalm 55. Tie them shoes up. Psalm 53. Psalm 55, 19 through 23. All right, and again, y'all, great Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is treason. We read the definition of treason earlier. All right, it's just showing you disloyal. Right? Owe your allegiance to the Most High. Being disloyal by showing your allegiance to somebody or someone else. That's what treason is. Huh? You're not loyal to the Almighty. You don't even keep his charge. But you're keeping everything that the heathen say do. That's treason, man. Especially when we get into the wickedness that had to happen so this heathen could get control of this side of. All right? That's the truth. So no Thanksgiving over here. All right? None of that is happening. It's all evil. All right? It's all evil. Psalm 55, next scripture. Psalm 55, 19 through 23. Psalm 55, 19 through 23. Y'all keep it down. Keep it down. 19 through 20. How and even he that abideth, because they have no changes. Therefore they fear not the Most High. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. That's how this heathen did. You understand? All called natives, all and agreements. He did, and then turn around and didn't honor none of them. Just like today, they don't honor any of their laws because they have no changes. Therefore, they fear not Yahweh. Forth against such as be at peace with him. He have broken all the peace treaties that will. Look at all the peace treaties that will violate. Look at all the peace treaties that were violated. So this heathen can get a stronghold and control this side of the earth. Look at this. Look them up. Look at all the peace treaties the white man violated with the natives. This scripture is prophetic. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter was in his heart. Meaning he came talking nice. He came talking all diddly-do neighbor like Ned Flanders on the Simpsons. You understand? But war was on his mind. Remember that. And why the scripture tell you in Sirach 12 and 10, never trust your enemy. Never trust your enemy. For as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. All right. It says right here. The words of his mouth smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast your burden upon they white, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Yahweh shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men, bloody and deceitful men shall not live out days, but I will trust in thee. Now trip off that. The Most High already declared these bloody and deceitful men going down. These bloody and deceitful men going down for their wickedness. They done broke every last covenant, every last one of them. All right. My preacher 8, don't get thrown head first about her. You need to get thrown in the garbage. How about that? My preacher 8. Maybe you just don't understand what it is. What it is. So trip off that right there. We understand right out the gate. He showed up speaking peaceable words. Guess what ended up happening? And the same thing happened with us in the Maccabees. First Maccabees 1. First Maccabees 1 is where we're going next. We're going to read verses 20 through 50. 20 through 50. All right. First Maccabees 1 through. All right. First Maccabees 1, verse 20 through 50. It's the same thing. And this is somewhat going into the Feast of Dedication that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? The Feast of the Dedication is coming up. If you into Thanksgiving or any of these so-called folly days, that's treason. You're being disloyal to your maker. By showing allegiance to some other type government. When the kingdom or the government of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh is supposed to reign in your hearts and in your mind. The kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God is within. You don't owe no allegiance to anybody but your maker. Always remember that. All right, it is what it is. All right, so we in First Maccabees. We in First Maccabees next, verse 20 through 50. All right, First Maccabees 1, 20 through 50. I'm gonna read that. Then we're gonna go into the New Testament again. We're gonna show the hypocrisy of us choosing these man-made traditions and all our claiming under our breath, I love the Most High. Stop lying, man. Stop lying. If you want to serve the Almighty, there are conditions. His love is not unconditional, it's conditional. I tell you in Proverbs 8, and that's wisdom speaking that comes out of the mouth of the Almighty. I love those that love me. You see, there are conditions in serving the creator of heaven and earth. And no, keeping Thanksgiving is not one of them. All right, it's not one of them. The Thanksgiving offering in the scripture was the free will offering that went down whenever you got the feeling whenever you got the feeling to thank the Most High. It was voluntary. You understand? It was not something that was fixed to be on the third Thursday or the fourth Thursday of the month November. All right, it was rooted in slavery, robbery, rape, deception, deep. All right. Bring me that phone. Give me that. Y'all probably paying attention. Look what she doing. And you ain't paying attention. Bring me that. Stay focused. All right, here. First Maccabees, SHALOM. And let us learn from the things that were written aforetime. That's what the scriptures say. Whatever was written aforetime was written for what? Our learning. All right? So we know what not to do. He even show up way even just to be doing it. We already know he don't do something just to be doing it. His whole mindset is to conquer. Words smoother than butter, but war's in his heart. Softer than oil, but they drawn swords. Here to conquer you, not be your pen pal. All right. First Maccabees 1 and 20. Gets a smitten in Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light, all the vessels thereof, took away the menorah and all the vessels we had up in there. All right. And the table of the showbread and the pouring vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and the veil and the crowns and the golden. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found. You see that? He come in and sacked the temple. and take away the glory of the temple, right? Now remember, we are the temple of the Most High when we're dealing on a metaphysical, spiritual level. We are the temple. When our temple, which is the throne of Yod Hey Wah, you understand? When the glory is taken away from that, the glory is taken away from the people, because we are the temple. You feel me? On a metaphysical, spiritual level, we are. So your mind is supposed to be dedicated to the service of your Creator. Period. End of story. Nothing else. That's who you owe allegiance to, right? You don't owe nobody allegiance, or you don't owe nobody anything to show up on Turkey Day. You don't owe nobody that. All right. So it is what it is. Now trip off this. It says right here, verse 24. And when he had taken all away, he went to his own land, having a great massacre, and spoken very proud. Therefore, there was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were. For that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, meaning weak, and the beauty of women was changed. Remember, us and our temple, the center of worship is one. Once the glory goes away from the temple, the glory goes away from the people. All right. Right here. It says, verse 27, every bridegroom or husband took up a lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. Yeah. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collective tribute unto the cities of Yahweh, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. Trip off this. Verse 30. And spake peaceable words unto them. Words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Sound familiar, just like he said in Psalm. Just like these so-called heathens did with the natives. The natives will tell you, any descendant of a native will tell you today, the so-called white man speaks with what? A forked tongue. He slithers. Now trip off this right here. It says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was what? Deceit. All was deceit. Read it, words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So he speaks well with the purpose of deceiving you. You understand? The natives understand that. You Negroes should understand that as well. His whole intention is to overthrow you and to speak well to you. Now, why the scripture tell you in Sirach 12, never trust your enemy. All pill to swallow, ain't it? All pill to swallow. Who a revolutionary, man? You dig? And again, this don't even mean other nations can't serve your God, man. But look, call what happened here, call it a spade a spade. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. You understand? Was it righteous or was it deception? Was it righteous or was it savagery? And now we're called savages. Was it righteous or was it rape? Was it righteous or was it germ warfare? What was it? Which one is it? Is it righteous? Are the origins of it righteous? And even the things that happened from there on, was it righteous? The 700 Pequot natives that were burned alive or shot to death or hacked to death. Was that righteous? You see, it takes us to slow down and step outside of ourselves and really examine what it is we call ourselves involved in. You see, and for us to want the Most High power, for us to harness the power of the Most High, we got to make sure step number one that we obedient, man, and that we're not even involved in whatever this heathen got going on. Nothing that got anything to do with spirit or religion, any of that. We ain't involved in. We ain't involved in it. All right. So spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. First Maccabees 1:30. But when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. So when we let our guards down, he came in and destroyed us. It's the same thing happened to the natives. Regardless if you believe they're Israelites or not. It's the same exact thing that happened. The same exact thing. You let your guards down and these heathens got control. 31, First Maccabees 1:31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire. Exactly. He takes spoils, he set the city on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. It sounds just like what's happening to us and what happened to the natives. It just sounds exactly the same. It's identical. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. They stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. And so they became a sore snare. So these heathens came in, conquered, and did what? Made your land or made your country, you understand, your inheritance. What they do, they made it a stronghold for themselves and put therein a what? A sinful nation. Y'all, it's the same thing that happened here. You own stolen property. Now, all y'all did was stole it. Y'all fortified it. Y'all made it, you understand, very strong, the top military in the earth. You see? It's the same exact thing. I don't even know where you get anything else from. It's the same exact thing that's happening. To where guess who's in our own land? Especially when it comes to Israel. I mean, we got brothers and sisters over there now, no doubt. And salute to the brothers and sisters that's holding on. But it's the same thing, man. It's the same exact thing because his psychology don't change. His vibration don't change. He ain't there. He's not there to get along with you and be your pen pal. That's something you need to understand, Zion. This heathen ain't here to be your friend. All right? Strictly punishment and conquering. He ain't there to be your friend, whatever. They don't do stuff like that. They don't do what's right just to be doing it. Go back there with your brothers. Hurry up. All right, right here, verse 35. Verse 35. They stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. 36. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and an evil adversary to Israel. 37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, just like the 700 so-called 700 natives that were destroyed, slaughtered, just like us that's still being slaughtered and gunned down today. It's the same thing, man. It's the same exact thing. All right. It says, side of the sanctuary and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made a habitation of strangers and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. Right. Strange to us today. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning. Her Shabbat into reproach. Her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Y'all hear that? That they all should, and that's the same vibration as out here today. Everybody need to be one people. Oh, we are the same. There's no difference. That's another lie. We are different. There's a difference between an Israelite and a so-called white man. There's a difference between an Israelite and a so-called Egyptian. There's a difference. You understand? The Most High made it that way. We are all not one people. And as we keep reading, you're gonna see there's a hidden agenda behind that type of talk. That's a spell being cast. We all one people, live the same way. There's a reason for it. All right. So it says right here. It says, moreover, verse 41, First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. I heard that. And sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Shabbat. So many sellout Israelites in that day. That's like it was sellout natives fighting on the side of the colonizers. You understand? Just like that. The same exact way, y'all. This thing is serious. All right? For the king has sent letters. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice, and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Shabbat and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And you can't say this heathen ain't set up idols all throughout this nation. Everywhere where they conquer, they come right in bringing their religion. You understand? Bringing their way of life. Let us not act silly in what we talking about here. Let us not act silly. You understand? They come in with the sword, then they come in with their missionaries to pacify you down. You understand? You understand? To pacify you, to bring you down, right? To bring you into that vibration of them. So once they see you conquer, they know they got fear from you. They know it's fear coming from you, right? So now, guess what? Now you open to accept whatever ideology or belief that I'm pushing. That's what happened. That's what happens. The same thing that happened here was happening in ancient Jerusalem. Same exact thing. You understand? And we must fight against Greek tyranny and Greek oppression. All right? It says right here. It says, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. That's what's going on that holiday. Y'all eating shit turlings and all that. Shit turlings. It's the truth. All right. And this is why all this was forced on us. There's a secret agenda behind it. Trip out this. To the end, they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. So when these heathens come in with their way of life, they come in with their mercenaries first, and then their missionaries. They come in there. No, go back there and close the door. Take her with you. They come in with their mercenaries and missionaries. See that? They bring fear in you first. They destroy you first, and then they come in with their spell called Christian sanity or Catholicism. To further put a spell on you, to keep you docile, right? So to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Y'all see that? That's First Maccabees 1:20-50. How crazy or how ironic. How ironic, man. That the very same thing that was happening to the natives and the very same thing that's happening to us right now. You understand? What's happening to the Israelites thousands of years ago before the Messiah was even birthed. Why? Because these are the children of their fathers. All right? These are the children of their fathers. So if you understood that so far, if y'all getting some understanding, go ahead and throw a 7. Go ahead and throw a 7 up in here. What I'm about to do now is read y'all something out of this resource I got. Let me take the screen share off for a second, and we're gonna come back to the scriptures. All right. I want to show y'all something just real quick. I want to show y'all something real quick. Now, this right here, I'm about to read about Jacob and Esau. This right here is called Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Some information up in here. But I was reading about Esau. I got to reading about Esau. I said, I wonder what they say about Esau on a metaphysical level. So Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, Charles Fillmore. You see, I had to scratch the so-called angel image off the front of it. But whatever, it's the information you're looking for. All right, now trip off this. All right, now trip off this real quick. All right, now trip off this. All right, I'm going to read on page 314. This is about Jacob and Esau, right? It says metaphysically, Jacob and Esau represent the mental and the animal consciousness within each of us. So either your spiritual nature, you're gonna either strive to be born again, you understand, to become like the Messiah, or you're gonna be a slave to your carnal passions and desires, right? Was it Jacob and Esau represent the mental and the animal consciousness within each of us. Esau, this is crazy, man. Esau, the hairy man, typifies the animal. And you can't say what was happening. You talking about a head being cut off and it being on a stake outside Plymouth, Massachusetts for 24 years? Is that what you talking about? You talking about heads being cut off and being kicked around like soccer balls? Is that the acts of a savage, an animal? Now, how do the savage call anybody else a savage? Look at it, and that's writing this. Look, I didn't write this. More than likely, this the heathen came out with this, right? It say Esau, the hairy man, typifies the animal, all right, which comes first into expression. Most of the human family let him rule in consciousness. So even if we got a disagreement or discrepancy on who Esau is, some believe he the so-called Caucasian, and others believe he a Bedouin shepherd or an Arab or something like that. Even if we say we lay aside who he is, let's lay aside who Jacob and Esau are, right? And focus on the spiritual implications, focus on the mindset of an Esau. You understand? How you know you're not becoming him in identity? If you acting like an animal. Huh? If you acting like everything your oppressor, that's why the scripture said, envy not your oppressor and choose none of his ways. Because your oppressor is an animal. You feel me? And to do things that he was doing. Yeah, I'm talking about germ warfare, rape, robbery, murder, deceit, bloodshed, killing innocents. Huh? Cutting off heads and leaving them on a stake for 24 years, man. Huh? Spreading blankets of smallpox all up and down the East Coast, wiping out whole communities. You feel me? And you mean to tell me that this is not behavior of a savage, of an animal? All right. And what says right here, most of the human family let him rule in consciousness, meaning most of us are vibrating low. We're acting like animals. All right. But in the line of human unfoldment, this man of nature, Esau, must be supplanted by a higher type called Jacob, the supplanter, the mentality or understanding, meaning spirit must rule the flesh. You understand? Spirit must rule the flesh, and the majority of mankind, flesh is ruling. Esau is ruling, that animal nature. That's what's ruling, and that's learned behavior. That's learned behavior. Trip off this. I'm gonna jump down. It says Esau was a hunter. He finds his pleasure in the realm of animal forces. The cravings of the lower nature are in the ascendancy. Esau gave his birthright to appease his hunger. His hunger. That bloody mouth. Like he ate that red polish to appease his hunger. He'll sell off the birthright, get the blessings of the heavenly kingdom as if they're nothing. But in our spirit, we'll die before we let go of what the Most High has promised us. Not Esau, though. You feel me? So Esau is an animal. He's controlled by his lower self. You understand? Whether you're talking about sexually or whether you're talking about, you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with food or whatever desire that controls you. You understand? You act like an animal out here. That's the psychology of Esau. Esau is an animal. He vibrates low. He's a man of the field. He always on the hunt. He don't spend time in the house like Jacob, dwelling in tents, praying, studying, and meditating. You understand? To really become, you understand, what the Most High has created us to be. No, he spent his time satisfying his flesh. Esau is an animal. You understand? And that's even according to this right here, Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore. I just so happened before I started this lesson, let me look up Esau. Whoa. All right, now I'm on page 206, Esau. All right. Hairy, hirsute, rough, or shaggy. Is the son of Jacob. Metaphysically, the body or physical vigor. In the immature consciousness, the natural man is moved by desire, appetite, and passion, satisfied with orders of the higher law. See that? It says in the immature consciousness, okay, the natural man is moved by desire. That's it. Appetite and passion are satisfied regardless of the higher law. So it don't even matter. So when you're dealing with Esau, everything with him is take, take, take. He's an animal. You understand? And us as Israelites got to make sure we not vibrating on no level like that. You got to make sure we not vibrating on no level like that whatsoever, shape, form, or fashion. Pray y'all got some understanding on that one. All right, so we're going to go back to these scriptures. I just wanted to show y'all that. And again, y'all can screenshot that Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore. It is. And just going to how Esau's an animal. And a lot of the things we've been reading about the so-called colonizers and conquerors or conquistadors is that of animals. You got to be an animal to chop off somebody's head and kick it around like it's a soccer ball. You got to be an animal to celebrate the death of 700 men, innocent men, women, and children. You feel me? And you keeping it today. You keep this religiously like we keep Passover. So you can't act like you ain't a part of it. You understand? You are a part of what's going on. Feel me? And if you had any type of integrity, you wouldn't be found doing nothing like this. Nothing. You understand? Because it's evil. Right? Remember, woe unto them they call evil good and good evil. The script said it. Huh? Those that justify the wicked and condemn the just, they both are an abomination to the Most High. You justifying the wicked and acting as if just because that ain't why I do it. Look, this thing been going on way before you. Right? If you are a follower of the Messiah, if you serve the true and living God, then He has rules that you must abide by. And one of His rules is to stay away from the worship of the other nation. This is their worship. And you can get in, try to get into it, and be like, well, you know, it's secular, and exactly. It ain't got nothing. Is it biblical? That's the question that need to be asked. And if it ain't biblical, you need to stop doing it. See, that type of talk scare folk. They don't like that. You feel me? And it will get you hated. A lot of people hate you because you're going to stand bold and do what thus saith your creator. You're not going to play. You're going to be hated, but you'll be loved by the Almighty. You understand? Oh, we about to get back into this. I got a few more scriptures I want to give y'all, man. We should be doing War Ready Wednesdays tonight. It's another one we're supposed to do on Turkey Day, so-called Turkey Day tomorrow, too. These brothers are stepping up, trying to swing their swords, so we should be doing that tonight and tomorrow, y'all willing. Feel me? Just all, you know, we just out here working, man. Work is turning up. Work is turning up, and a lot of brothers is ready to put their hands to the plow and not look back. So if that's in your spirit, I'm going to tell you, Yahoo, salute. However I can help. You understand? However I can help to further what it is that you've been inspired to do. I'm your brother. I'm here for you. It's all good. It's all good. Let's get out here and get it cracking. Right? Labor's a few, but the harvest is plenty. All right, so we back to this. Get back to this real quick. All right. Screen share once again. All right. We're going to 1 Peter 4 next, family. 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. 1 Peter chapter 4, we're going to read 1 through 4. Now, give me a second when y'all get there. 1 Peter 4, 1 through 4. 1 Peter 4, 1 through 4. Bang, bang, bang. All right, we all good. All right, 1 Peter 4. Back to what's called the New Testament. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. You ain't scared of the Old Testament or they scared of the New Testament. Could it be you just don't understand? Why it can't never be that? You know, me and get on here talking some, I'll wipe my rear end with the New Testament or with the Old Testament, and you understand? Nobody really want to get down and find the harmony. And just as soon as you read something you don't understand, I don't understand. Yeah, stuttering like a Uzi. You see? We gotta be better than that. All right, y'all. So 1 Peter 4. 1 Peter 4. 1 Peter 4, 1 through 4. Yeah, and again, y'all be strong and very courageous, man. The Most High is with you. If the Most High is with you, nothing or no thing or no one can stand against you. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous that your people know that you're not coming over, or people gonna get sad. They're gonna play that with you too, the little puppy dog look. Oh, I'm sad. You know, your grandmother. And look, I love my grandmama. I love my mama too. I love all my uncles and aunts and all that. You understand? But y'all already know when I come around, I'm about business. I'm about business. You understand? Either we about to rap about this, or y'all gonna keep acting like y'all front, because y'all know that I know that you're front. You know that. How do I know? Because over the years we've attempted to sit down, you understand, and come to an understanding. I mean, even to the point to where brothers will be like, now, if you can prove your Christianity, or you can prove how you worship with the Bible, I'll become a member of your church. I'll be front pew every Sunday. Let's talk about, oh no, I know, I know, I know. So that just let me know. That just let me know that you know that you bull jiving, man. You feel me? Because my short leggers come to me. You know what I'm saying? By the time they get grown and want to talk about this Bible, we gonna rap. What you mean? We gonna rap about this. We gonna get some understanding about this. You understand? We're not gonna play. And that's the thing, man. A lot of our people, like, who gonna be that generation? The scripture was going into that we teach our children that they learn not to be rebellious like our forefathers, whose heart was not steadfast with the Almighty. You were lukewarm. You was in the spirit of compromise, and then, you know, appeasing your woman because she got mad, instead of standing on it, man. Stand on this word. And when you do that, brothers and sisters, when you stand on this word, that's where the power comes from. Because in the end, you'll be way more respected because you took a hard line stance on it. Those are the people that get respected. Not somebody that spend their career in the Bible winging their answers or tap-toeing around issues. Or tiptoeing, tap dancing. I said tap-toeing. Tap dancing around issues. Huh? Tiptoeing around issues. Stop it, man. You dig? When you stand up and be honorable, even though some feelings may be hurt for the time, in the end, guess what? That brother took a hard line stance. We know where he stand at. We don't know where you stand at, Mr. Quicksand. We don't know where you stand at. You feel me? Every time somebody asks you, because you know in spirit they may be mad with the response of the Bible, you try to water it down. Yeah, that's the spirit of compromising, man. Right? And that ain't what the Most High dealing with. Become great in this thing, Zion. And the only way you're going to become great is if you take a hard line stance on your beliefs. You understand? Why y'all think we doing the War Ready Wednesdays? We doing that to bring, not for entertainment. We doing that so you can have all the information and make a solid decision on what it is you talking about. You see? But Israel always going to get together and swing swords. I love to do it. There ain't no problem. You understand? But that's what it is, so you can have all the information in front of you, man. Not to confuse you, so you can write down all the scriptures and all that, go before the Almighty, and may the Almighty give you an understanding, a discerning spirit concerning what it is. All right? That's right, Ak. It's all good until you scripturally checkmate pastor. Yeah, I did that, boy, about 12 years ago. Boy, that pastor went back and told my whole entire family, that boy is crazy. And look, I was real cordial. You know, but I did see him cracking a smirk at the end of me going over scriptures with him. And I told him, look, this ain't funny. This ain't funny, right? This is dead real around here. All right. All right, right here, y'all. 1 Peter 4:1. For as much then as the Messiah have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. So y'all heard that? You supposed to arm yourselves with the same mind the Messiah had. Be prepared to suffer. Right? And that's light suffering when you're dealing with your family, like when they cracking jokes. And here come Moses, and look at the three wise men, and oh, look at the, you know, oh, you reading the Bible now? That's cute. That's light affliction. I welcome that. Come on with it. All right. So arm yourselves with the mind to suffer. All right. For he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin. Wow. So if you arm your mind Arm yourself with the same mind Christ had to suffer. If you're suffering for righteousness' sake, guess what you done did? You're not sinning. You're not sinning at that point. If you suffering for being righteous at that very moment, what are you not doing? You're not sinning. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of Yah. You see that? So if you done took on this, what's called, they call it today, Christ consciousness. In other words, you done took on the mindset of the Messiah, right? And he had the mind of God in him, right? So once you got that mind, you're not supposed to live the rest of your life to the lust of men, but to the will of Yod-Heh-Wah, Yahweh, right? Now that you had this new mind, you armed yourself with the same mind that a Mashiach has. You understand? The rest of your life is dedicated to pleasing your Creator. All right? For the time past of our life may suffice us to have worked or wrought the will of the Gentiles. Yeah. Yeah, your past life that you love to brag on every once in a while. I call it a mind hack. You start bragging on all your wickedness that you've been reborn from, right? Let's say, for the time past of our life may have sufficed us to have wrought the will of Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. Y'all, that's what all these feasts, all these so-called folly days, including Thanksgiving, is an abominable idolatry. There's definitely a banqueting. It's definitely a banquet. It's definitely reveling going on, and it's definitely excess of wine. Everybody know it. All type of other wickedness going on too. Lasciviousness, lusts. Verse 4. It says, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them, the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. So you're going to get spoken evil of because you're not coming to Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, Day, Memorial Day, New Year's Day, because you decided to live the rest of your life to please your Creator. You're going to be spoken evil of, right? And that's what the scripture is going to right there in 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. So prepare your mind, all right? Prepare your mind, man. Prepare your mind to suffer. That's taking on the mind of the Messiah. You understand? Right? You don't live your life based off the lust and the will of men, but to the will of the Almighty. So once you can put on the mindset of the Messiah, once you've been born again, your whole life is aimed at pleasing your Creator, not man. You understand? And a lot of people in your family, your loved ones, they're going to get tight-lipped at you. This nigga think he used to fall asleep under the Christmas tree. Now he just so righteous. You're going to start hearing stuff like that. You ain't perfect. I never said I would. I strive to be, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. This is how you got to be, man. It's just how you got to be. All right. All right. So you understand that they're going to speak evil of you. There's nothing you can do to stop that. All right. Matter of fact, if they speaking evil of you, you must be doing a good job. All right. If everybody loves you, you're doing something wrong. Just want to let y'all know that. If everybody loves you, you're doing something wrong. There's got to be opposite. There's always been opposition to righteousness. The prophets wasn't cool with everybody. A lot of our people were trying to kill the prophets. The Messiah wasn't cool with everybody. They was calling for his death 40 days before he was crucified. Trying to stone him and everything. You dig? So you're going to get that, man. You're going to get that, Israel. All you got to do is what? Stay focused. And men's arms are too short to box with the Creator, period. All right? 1 Corinthians 10, 19 through 22 is where we going next. We got some scriptures. I just want to go over basic scriptures. A lot of our people are waking up, and this may be their first time hearing this, or their first time having to get through family in this time of year. So that's why we always do videos to encourage. This is to encourage you, right? Find comfort in these scriptures. Find comfort in these scriptures because there's hope in there. The word of the Most High is encoded in you. It's in your DNA. That's why you feel so comfortable when you read these things. You read some of the stuff that our forefathers was going through, and it make you Relax. Like, I ain't the first one. I ain't the last. You feel me? And you see how they overcame. All right. Let's get her done. All right. That's right. We're supposed to show a difference. The difference between us and these so-called Christians. There is. There's a difference. It's a major difference. And the world should see that. You feel me? They see us with the Bible, but y'all live, y'all think and talk and walk totally different. And that's what's needed in this hour, man, especially with the men. You know what I'm saying? Men and the women. Men and the women. But the men must be built back up so they can take back control of their houses, man. You understand? So anybody, male or female, man or woman, that's dedicating their life to serving the God of Israel, I'm your brother. I'm your brother. You know what I'm saying? And I salute that. I salute. I know about being the black sheep and the outcast and all that. I salute those that stand up and do what's right, even though the world is against them, because that takes integrity and that takes courage, man. You understand? But you'll realize the blessing that comes right behind it. You realize the blessing that comes right behind it, man. So all praise to the Most High. 1 Corinthians 10, 19 through 22. What say I then, that the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, Thanksgiving is a Gentile feast. Everybody would have to agree with that. The things that the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to Yah. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. So they let you know that all these feast days, all of them are rooted in some type of sacrifice, including Thanksgiving. All right. So all that, the Gentiles, what they sacrifice their feast days, when they come together and they feasting, and it's something religious and spiritual, bro, that's to the devil. Matter of fact, they say devils, that's demon worship. You don't want it to be there because you don't see it right in front of your face. Because you still lusting over my mama biscuits. Not my mama biscuits. You still tripping off your mama biscuits. And ain't tripping off what you are commanded to do from the Almighty. How we would never choose any ways of these heathens. Anything. Yeah. Yeah. Right? And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. You're not supposed to be in league with demons, man. Huh? Now you see why we can't show up and eat with y'all. Now you see why. Why we can't show up and eat and drink. It ain't because we don't like the food. Well, if it's abomination like shitterlings, hell no, we don't like it. But if it's some good old turkey and mac and cheese, and now you see why. Now you see why. Now you see why. Now you see why. You understand? We can't, because you can't. You have to choose a side when you serve in the Almighty. All right. You can't have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink the cup of Yahweh and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of Yahweh's table and of the table of devils. Do we provoke Yahweh to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? You see that? Well, the scriptures go into how we are not supposed to drink from the cup of the Most High and the cup of the devil. We can't do that. We can't do that. You understand? We can't do that. We got to choose a side, man. And remember, a lot of us are running around here calling ourselves Gentiles, like in these so-called Christian churches. Well, you can realize that the Gentiles sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. All right? And we're not supposed to have fellowship with devils. Choose a side, Zion. And again, if you don't know the idol that's being worshipped on Thanksgiving, watch the Macy's parade. One of the floats they're going to float through there is the Queen of Heaven. Then they're going to keep you distracted with a game. And in the game, the foosball game, Redskins against Cowboys. Guess what? That's what? They're going to honor the dead. So there you got the sacrifice. You got the eating. You got the festivities. You understand? You got the whole ceremony. They're going to hold a whole ceremony at halftime and come on out. And everything that's in place for it to be idolatry is there. All right. You got the idol, the so-called queen of heaven. You got the offering, the cornucopia, the horn basket of fruit. You got the sacrifices that went down, so blood been shed by remembering the troops. And then you got what's called the ceremony of festivities. Everything involved for it to be idolatry is there. You just choose not to see it. All right. So you got to choose a side. You can't drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You understand? You're not supposed to be doing that. That's right, Shaul Israel. In honor and remembrance of our indigenous brothers and sisters, we must not celebrate Thanksgiving, which is called Thanksgiving. That's right. All right. We ain't supposed to, what did you say? Then the turducken. Poppy, I ain't messing with you. All right, Mark 7, y'all, is the next scripture we're going to go through. Mark 7, 6-9. And actually, our master teacher, the Messiah, he taught against the traditions of men. All right, who the world calls Jesus Christ, he taught against. We call him Yahushua, Yehoshua, Hamashiach. He actually taught against the traditions of men and how partaking in them, you violate the commandment of the Most High. Feel me? So it's important to bring these New Testament scriptures into play. You understand? Because it shows the harmony between what's called the Old and New Testament. Idolatry is not to be promoted in no way, shape, form, or fashion for any Bible believer. You're not supposed to be into idol worship. Christmas is idol worship. Thanksgiving is idol worship. Halloween is idol worship. You understand? What is it? Valentine's Day, getting struck with the love dart. You understand? Idolatry. Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, all of it. You feel me? And the crazy part, all of it ain't got nothing to do with your redemption, your power. Ain't got to do. Nothing to do with it. Everything is about remembering the power that this heathen has and how he got it. And you don't see nothing wrong with this. All right? You don't see nothing wrong with this. All right? That's right, out the mud watchman. Come on with it, Doc. Come on with it, man. You know it's all good. Come feast with your family, man. It's all good. We got us a nice size hall up here. You know what I'm saying? They can seat about 100. You know, we gonna go to the max. Y'all know, I know how it is. But we definitely gonna get it done, man. So come on with it. Mark chapter 7. Y'all hold on for a second. Hey, Malak.
Yes. Yes.
All right, y'all, my bad. Having to handle these short leggers, you know how that go. Oh, girl, you be all right. All right, so the Messiah himself in Mark chapter 7, he spoke against the traditions of men. All right. Yeah, I had hit the mute button for a minute, y'all. Yeah, short leggers. It is what it is. I know, Big O. It's just a day for family. That's what they say, dog. But people never go into the very thing that's in place for be considered idolatry. Everything, man. You got the idol, Queen of Heaven. You can read Jeremiah 44 about our worshiping that. The Queen of Heaven has a float that's passed through the Macy's parade. You understand? You understand? You got the idol. You got the festivities, which is the football game. You got the food, and you got the remembrance of the sacrifice. All four of those are needed for it to be idolatry, and it's right there. And we run around here acting like, well, technically, stop that. Stop that. All right. All right, let's get this right here, y'all. This is Mark 7, 6-9. He answered and said unto them, well, have Isaiah prophesied to you hypocrites, as it is written, There's people honor me with their lips. There's people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. You see that? That's vain worship. You to partake in something like Thanksgiving, we all know is a man-made tradition. How do we know that? It's not in the Bible. Thanksgiving parades, day, turkey day, none of that's in the Bible nowhere, and everybody know it. Huh? He said Isaiah prophesied well of you hypocrites. What's the hypocrite? Somebody that say it but don't do it. These people honor me with their lips, but their heart or their mind is far from me. Howbeit in vain, which means worthless, they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Right? Verse 8, for laying aside the commandment of Yah. That's what our people do in them churches. Y'all know it. And they're not keeping the commandments of the Most High. The commandments of Yahweh are not even taught in the church. For laying aside the commandment of Yahweh, you hold the tradition of men, such as Turkey Day, right? As the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well, ye reject the commandment of Yahweh, that ye may keep your own tradition. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? That you may keep your own tradition, you reject the commandment of the Most High. Messiah called us hypocrites. You see that? You were a hypocrite. Isaiah prophesied to you. Yeah, you got that lip service. I love the Lord. I love the Most High. That's what your mind say. But your mind or your heart is isolated from it. Huh? That's why he said in vain, meaning it's worthless worship for you to be doing all these traditions of men. It means nothing. You ain't scored not one brownie point with the Most High. You ain't got not one stripe to salvation for doing this. If anything, it's taken away. You understand? It's taking away your chances of getting into the kingdom because you still tripping off these folly days and this tradition. You understand? Just what it is, man. Next scripture, Colossians 2, 6 through 9. Colossians 2, 6 through 9. Colossians 2, 6 through 9. Give me a 7 when y'all get there. Colossians 2, 6 through 9. That's right, David Thompson, Psalm 141. Yeah, you've been trying to get me to read that for a minute. I'm trying to get through the lesson, but yeah, go ahead and express yourself. Yeah, that's right. You love your mother or father or your brothers more than me. You're not worthy. That's what he said, man. Right? And I love my family, man. I love my mama. Thank the Most High, she's still living. Right? But my love I got for her come up short in the balances when it comes to the Almighty. You understand? My mama know, like we talking about, she already know her sons. You know what I'm saying? And all the cousins I got around her, man, please. But if she put out a distress signal, it's gonna sound like World War III around this deal. She understand that. You understand? But nah, I don't love you enough to die and burn forever. You dig? And straight love my mom to this day with every fiber of my being. Love her cooking to this day. Matter of fact, I asked her a couple weeks ago. I was reminiscing on how this that roast she used to cook back in the day, that pot roast. Oh man. So I was, Mama, I was reminiscing. I'm like, Mama, I need you to go ahead and put that together for me. She's like, we're gonna have to make that happen. Yeah. Yeah. So I love the food. You understand? I love the memories. I love everything that's been instilled in me. But I'm not partaking in no Thanksgiving. Y'all know better than that. The whole family know. The whole family know. All right. And believe me, I've heard every excuse. You feel me? From those that still involved in so-called Christianity, like my mama and all them, like all my cousins and all them, like my aunts and all. Yeah, I've heard every excuse. My aunts and uncles, you dig? And even from brothers that claim they in the truth. Claim they in the truth. I don't watch brothers over the years. You know what I'm saying? Like sneak and go take a holiday picture. You know what you doing. Well, no, technically, nah, I don't watch it. I don't watch brothers sneak over the years and, you don't put it out there like, well, I know you don't eat pork, but come on over and eat the turkey. I don't watch that. And you know good and well you ain't supposed to be partaking, period. Because this food was made in the spirit of this vibration right here, and I can't deal. I can't deal. You know what I'm saying? That's right. I can love my mama, but Yahweh's greater. Yep, that's right. That's right. This is a funny, but that's right. All right, so y'all get it. Colossians 2, 6 through 9. I want to go here because this is a scripture that actually has the phrase Thanksgiving in it. But Thanksgiving has nothing to do, again, y'all, with the third Thursday or the fourth Thursday in November, preceding Black Friday. It had nothing to do with those Puritans or those pilgrims. No, not the Thanksgiving in the Bible. All right, Thanksgiving was a free will offering that was voluntary. You just felt like giving your God something, show that you are very thankful for what He's done for you. All right, Colossians 2, 6 through 9. As ye have therefore received the Messiah, Yahweh, the Master, so walk ye in Him, rooted and built up in Him, and established in the faith. See, so as you received Him, understand, as you've learned about the true Messiah in these scriptures, it says, walk ye in Him. So you're supposed to walk like He walked, right? Rooted, that means you got a foundation, and built up in Him. To build up means what? And you can even put that on an exercise term type, meaning you're established and you're constantly growing. And built up in Him and established in the faith, right? As you have been taught. So whatever that you've been taught about the Messiah has to be in the Bible, y'all. It has to be in the scripture. Abounding therein with thanksgiving. So this has nothing to do with Turkey Day. Huh? It's telling you to abide in the love of Mashiach by being rooted and built up in Him and established in the faith as you have been taught. Well, where you getting taught about Him from? From the preacher with his handkerchief, patting his forehead, or from real men that's out here teaching the word as it is written? How are you learning? And this is why, verse 8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. Philosophy, DNA. Think about it. A-N-D is DNA. Philosophy, right? And vain deceit, worthless deception. It's not what the so-called colonizers and conquerors, not what they done did to the natives and what they doing to us. It's not deception. After the tradition of men. It's not Turkey Day, a man-made tradition. After the rudiments or elements of, and not after the Messiah. Y'all see that? The Messiah ain't got nothing to do with the tradition of men, the elements of the world, vain deceit, or philosophy. And through all that, you can get robbed of your salvation. That's why we can't show up to eat, even if it's turkey to eat. I can't rob your salvation through philosophy, vain deceit, tradition of men, after the elements and rudiments of this world. This is a man-made tradition that you are supposed to believe in the Messiah. You as a follower of Yahweh are not supposed to be partaking in. Everybody know that. You're going to hear the excuses, though. But my kids, my mama biscuits. But my kids. The kids. Black Friday death. Like right at night after the game, nigga store. Y'all realize this, right? Spend the night out just so they can get some type of deal. All right. Verse 9, for in Him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. So we see that right there. All right. Next scripture is James chapter 1. Yeah, this computer tripping again, huh? I don't know. I got everybody around here signed off, so I don't know, man. All right. It's chopping up a little bit again. If y'all can hear me, go ahead and put a 7. Put a 7 up in that deal. If y'all can hear it. Y'all can hear Hebrew, throw a 7. Throw a 7 up in there. It done got a little better. Chopping up. Not my mama biscuits. It's good. The book of James is next, y'all. James. James chapter 1. Okay, we good. All right, bet. Chantel Prescott, shalom. Not my mama biscuits. When we gonna be strong, man? Stand up against wickedness. Not be so weak just because we smell some good food in the earth. Oh, I got a 7. James chapter 1. Verse 20, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yah. Was what happened, the slaughter of the natives and the continual slaughter of us. Is that not the wrath of man? You see that? For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God, man. The wrath of man don't work the righteousness of Yahweh. You understand? Yes, the truth. For lay up and superhardiness and resist the engrafted word which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers. That deal keep going out. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. You see that? You get doer this word. Oh yeah, I know Thanksgiving is evil. You can't just hear it say, oh yeah, I know we the Israelites. All right. Once you know, you do. Once you do better, right? But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer. Now remember, the word says you can't call evil good and good evil. Woe to them that do that, right? The word also says, envy not your oppressor and choose none of his ways. You got to act on that. You got to turn that into action, all right? For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Always in the mirror, where he beholdeth himself and straightway forget what manner of man he was. So, in other words, if you are a hero of the word, but you don't apply the word, you like somebody that's always in the mirror looking at himself and then forget what he looked like and be right back in the mirror. That's vanity. You are not supposed to be a hearer of the word only. You're supposed to be a hearer and a doer. And the word says, envy not your oppressor and choose none of his ways, for the forward or abomination to Yahweh. If you are in the spirit of loving America, doing what your oppressor is doing, you are an abomination to the Almighty. I didn't make this up. That's why it's called Thanksgiving is treason. You see? Because you definitely showing you're not loyal to the Almighty, but you're showing your allegiance to what? To someone or some other government. When the kingdom and government of Yod Hey Wah Hey supposed to rule in your hearts and in your minds, man. And for you that get offended and like, no, you know, we actually can go. You wonder why you ain't on fire like you used to be. Any of you brothers that get offended, well, we can go on over there and partake, and they separate my food. And but you same brothers that believe that and speak on that, you done lost your fire. You understand? You're not out here for real teaching the people no more. You done lost your fire, man. You feel me? And that pass on to brothers that come in later on to where you just get lackadaisical. And that's the spirit you don't want, man. You don't want to be lackadaisical in this truth, man. You're supposed to be on fire. You understand? I'm still on fire from the first day I found out till now. You understand? I may know how to control it. At first it was uncontrollable. Now I know how to control it better and all that. You understand? But you're not supposed to be like pushing the spirit of being lackadaisical. You understand? You're supposed to be pushing the spirit or vibration out here on those that's listening to be diligent. You understand? And to constantly and diligently do this thing, man. You understand? To constantly be growing, not to get lazy, not to get in slipper mode, to constantly be on this thing. Day in, day out, 24/7, 365, check in, check out. That's how you're supposed to be. Check in or check out. And that's how you're supposed to be. All right? So again, that's a scripture. Do the word. What the word says, don't envy your oppressor and don't choose his ways. All right. And if you hear the word but don't do it, you like somebody looking at himself in the mirror and right back in the mirror because he done forgot what he looked like. That's the benefit. So what does it benefit you to hear the word, not do it? It don't benefit you none. Two more scriptures, Jeremiah 10, 1-2. All right, it says, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Yisrael. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. Thus saith Yahweh. Now, true about this. Does the Most High speak to you, O house of Israel? Thus saith Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Y'all hear that? Don't learn the ways of the heathen, man. Same thing we read in Proverbs 3:31. Envy not your oppressor and choose none of his ways. And the Most High speaking to you, Israelites, man. He's speaking to you and about you. Don't learn the way of the heathen. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. That's going to you getting superstitious over what time of the year you was born in, man. You know what I'm saying? Horoscopes and all that. All right? That ain't what we into either. Yeah, we had knowledge of the heaven, the stars, but there's a religion behind it. Okay? Don't be so simple in your life. Let's do what we're commanded to do. All right? All praises, glory, and honor. Number going next, number 25, 1-5. And we're going to show the Most High actually does not like, he actually gets angry. And had we been in a different time in history, say we early in our history, you understand, everybody caught doing that. All the leaders of the people, everybody caught doing that would have got put down. So this is not as innocent as you think. Again, everything is in place for Thanksgiving to be idolatry. Huh? They got the idol. All you got to do, they're going to have a Superman floats and Batman floats in the Macy's parade too, but they also got a float called the Queen of Heaven. She's carried through there every year. Yeah, so you got the idol, you got the offerings to the idol, you got your horn basket called a cornucopia, in which they used to offer, you know what I'm saying, to the so-called false deity, the Queen of Heaven. You got the sacrifice of the blood that's been spilled because they're going to honor the troops that's over there dying for demonocracy. All right? You got your food and you got the sports, festivities. If that ain't idolatry, I don't know what is. That's idolatry all day. You got the God. You even got the blood, the sacrifice. And then some good old festivities. That's idolatry. What you talking about? All right? It is what it is. So number 25 is where we at next. It's our last scripture, y'all. Number 25. Number 25 started verse 1. And Yisrael abode in Shittim. The people began to commit a whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their God. Come on over, baby. I know you don't celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, but come on over. Yeah, your gift right over there under the tree. Go on over there. You got to bow down and get your gift from under this so-called altar. At every altar, they bring sacrifices and gifts. Y'all know this, right? And they called the people into the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods, man. The people there to eat. You were invited to the sacrifice, right? But part of the sacrificing is the feasting. And people did eat and bow down to their gods. I mean, they were down with the program. They were down whatever was going on that Moab was showing them. That's what they was doing. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel because Israel decided to deal with the God of Moab. You understand? Not by just saying I'm down with him like verbally. It was the actions. You showed up to eat. And then you bowed down. Just like if you still went over. I know you don't celebrate Christmas, but I got you some slippers. Boy, you need some slippers. Go on up under that. They over there under that tree right there. I didn't even wrap them because I know you don't do Christmas. You go on over there and you got to bow down to get your gift. And that's an altar. The Christmas tree is not an altar to the Most High. It's an altar to Nimrod, a false god. And on a sexual perversion level, it's a male reproductive member. You got balls hanging off of it and everything. Even the wreath. The wreath is a womb, a woman's reproductive member. It's sexual perversion at its highest. A lot of us don't even know it. And you just being seduced, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. It's so seductive and weak and, man, it makes you sleepy. Come on, man. Y'all know that this is a spell. You know? Y'all know this is a spell. Utter madness. You can get your family, go to the store and buy your family gifts any other time of the year. Why around this time? Why? Huh? Why around this time? Because you lust to do what your enemy is doing. And y'all know that. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Get the hell out of here with that madness, man. Y'all know if that ain't spell casting, you don't know what spell casting is. That's spell casting. All right? It is what it is. All right. So it said right here, and the anger of the Most High was kindled against Israel. And Yahweh said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people, meaning the leaders of the people, and hang them up before Yahweh against the sun, that the first anger of Yahweh may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined in the Baal Peor. You see that? Hung the leaders of the people, then slayed everybody else for following. And you still running around here talking about something. It's innocent. It's for the kids. No, I think we all know better. I think we all know better. You dig? And again, just for any of y'all that's late, I want to read this short little version of Halloween again. It's off the Massacre American Indian Council. Okay, the real story of Thanksgiving, introduction for teachers, the Plymouth Thanksgiving story. I want to read this one more time, and then I'm gonna open up the line for questions. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna get on up out of here. We got the War Ready Wednesday tonight too. But if it was any new brothers or sisters or anybody that was still kind of undecided or whatever, or was feeling sad, don't be sad, man. You should be happy that the Most High chose you to stand up and be honorable in a world full of evil. You understand? Messiah didn't die for this present evil world. He did. This present evil world is going down. Only those that are wise will shine as the firmament. Huh? Is that what you want to do or not? That what you want to do or not? That was I love hog shitterlings, huh? It's always harder the first time, man. But as y'all keep going, you realize, man, look, water off a duck's back. I gotta get reminded when the folly days are now. I don't even be knowing. You did. People be like, oh, you know, next week is up. Is it? Okay, y'all about to get in y'all, Jolly Saint Nick mode, huh? Nah, I'm good. The Real Story of Thanksgiving by Susan Bates. I want to read this again. It's for anybody that's just now joining us. And y'all see the title. I know the title got a few people mad. You did. But hey, they be all right. People get mad every day, B. You be all right. All right. This right here. Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast. That did happen once. The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Patuet Indians bound for slavery, slave ships. They left behind smallpox, which means these heathens committed germ warfare. They were weaponized. They knew how to weaponize diseases back then, like they do now, like the Center for Disease Control do now. They tell you who controlling the diseases, the CDC, found in Atlanta, Georgia. They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. Wow. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuet Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. He taught them to grow corn and to fish and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. At the end of their first year, the Pilgrims had a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags. But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by the boatload. Here we go. Finding no fences around the land they considered to be in the public domain. These heathens are bold. Y'all peep these heathens? These heathens like, look, since it ain't no fences around here, well, this must be mine. I'm talking about bold, man. Evil. All right. Joined by other British settlers, they sieged land, capturing strong young natives for what? Slaves, killing the rest. But the Pequot Nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Squanto had negotiated. They fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. 1637 near present-day Groton, Connecticut. Over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. Y'all hear that? So the Pequot already had what's called a Green Corn Festival. And Moses says, which is our Thanksgiving celebration, right? In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside. The mercenaries are hired gun. This means that the crown, those in charge, English crown, sent out what? Mercenaries, ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside the long house were burned alive. Wow. Next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered. Now, there ain't nothing righteous about this. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. So they had sellouts, just like we read about the Israelite sellouts in the book of the Maccabees, who consented to the Greeks. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery while the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Y'all see that? And we talking about slave ships? Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. Following an especially successful raid against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut, which has prestigious universities, Division I football, basketball, all of it. You mean to tell me that that city or that town is built on the bones and blood of the massacred 700 Pequot? Come on, man. The churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over who? The heathen savages. During the feasting, the hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. That's why we read about Esau out the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, and it says Esau is an animal. He got the psychology of an animal. He's a man of the field. He ain't like Jacob, who's a man of the spirit. A man getting some understanding, praying, meditating, studying, doing things that please his creator. Esau is an animal. You understand? And we talking about psychology, his mindset. We can argue all day on who you think he is. You understand? But when we examine the personality traits and the psychology, which means study of the mind, when we study that, and then we start comparing history, you feel me? It'll start lining up for you, regardless if you think whoever he is. I'm tripping off the psychology right now. And that's only an animal would chop off somebody's head and kick it through the street like a soccer ball. It's not enough you won the battle, huh? It's not enough you just won the war, you won the battle. You won not just to what? To satisfy that animal bloodthirsty nature of yours. You cut the head off. You cut heads off and kick them through the streets like they're soccer balls. That's an animal, man. And everybody know it. Come on, man. Even the friendly Wapanag, they're the friendly natives. Even the friendly Wapanag did not escape their madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years. If these aren't the acts of savages we're reading about, if they don't even fulfill the definition we read about Esau out the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, you understand? These are animals. It take the mind of an animal to do something like that, right? Especially with somebody that's friendly to you. You chop that chief's head off and you put that on a pole and it stays up there 24 years. Think about what that did to the psychology of those that were, or the psyche of those that used to follow the chief, and for those who had conquered. And you were forced to look at that. You dig? It's gonna strike fear in those that you conquered, and it's gonna do what? It's gonna make you even more bloodthirsty for the animal on the other side that just did these acts of savagery, man. But we the animals, though, huh? Yeah, that's right, Mina J. Or hang somebody from a tree and then take pictures next to them smiling like us. You see what I'm saying? There's a book called 100 Years of Lynching from 1865 to 1965, man. Newspaper articles. I used to have a book. It got away from me. 100 Years of Lynching. Y'all read that book, man. These are animals. You understand? Because the actions that are manifested, you feel me? What's manifesting is not righteousness. What's manifesting? What's manifesting is more and more dominance, more and more evil, more and more wickedness. Well, that means their mindset. Remember, you got to think it, speak it, and it becomes your reality. You see? So the fact that the manifestation out here for these heathens, you talking about gator bait and all that, man. You used to kidnap our babies and catch alligators with. Only an animal would think of that. Just so you can put on some shoes called some damn gators. Trip off the mind, the mental of your oppressor. And you'll quickly get away from it. Like, man, I ain't trying to be around you, boy. Boy, you got a major judgment coming. Boy, when your judgment come, boy, that your judgment going down in world history. Your judgment gonna be even greater than the Egyptians when the Most High visited them for getting at us. Yeah. All right. The killers became more and more frenzied with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre. Wow. Every time they massacred the natives, guess what they did? Through a feast. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre. And George Washington was a Satanist. Niggas worship Lucifer. They wasn't down with the God of Israel. Stop it. All right. Even there's a documentary of Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin was part of Masonic lodges over here and in England. They found over 200 bodies under his house where he stayed. They was experimenting on people and everything, man. Ben Franklin and them, they was Satanists. They was Luciferians. Your founding fathers. All right. Right here. It says later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War. On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota. The story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feelings associated with it as the one where the Indians and Pilgrims are all sitting together at the big feast. So I just wanted to show that to y'all. That's real quick. You feel me? And I had another article pulled up too where it went deep into, you know what I'm saying, the atrocities, man. The atrocities were no joke. You feel me? And it still ain't nothing to play around with. You dig? So I just want to go there and just something real quick, y'all. Go into some histories of Thanksgiving you may have not been privy to. You dig? Show some articles, and then go through some scriptures so our people will have hope during this time. You feel me? There's no reason for you to be in the spirit of compromising. What are we compromising for? You understand? The Most High is looking for us to be honorable in this hour. Stand up and be honorable. You understand? Show some integrity. You understand? That the Most High orders us to do. I mean, hell, you're busy doing what your enemy doing anyway, right? You're already busy doing what your enemy is doing. How about we turn and where has that gotten us? Nowhere, but under his boots even more. You understand? We'd have been made even with the ground, man. We lower than a footprint. You understand? Lower than snail nuts. Yeah, low. You feel me? So for us to see this revolution that we talking about, right? It's a spiritual revolution, y'all. It ain't about grabbing guns and going to overthrow the government. It's simple as loving your God, loving his people, and stop doing what your enemy, your oppressor is doing. It's that simple. And guess what? Your oppressor loses power. See, they feared you done learn how to get spiritual on. You understand? You learn how to get spiritual on this heathen. You learn to obey your God and love his people and get spiritual. You understand? I'm talking about calculated prayers that the Most High respect. That's what they fear. And that's the hour that we are approaching. Feel me? So with that being said, all praise, glory, and honor. Before we pray out, though, anybody got any questions? Any questions you want to ask or whatever? Go ahead and shoot. Go ahead and shoot. It's all good. Got more content coming to the channel. You feel me? Later on today, y'all willing and more. We're just gonna keep it going. I want to thank y'all for y'all prayers and y'all support. Y'all prayers and y'all support is very much appreciated. All right, very much appreciated. Snail nuts. That's low, ain't it, boy? That's low. Yeah, that's good. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, that's low and slow. Lower than snail nuts, boy. You even brought low. All right. Anybody got any questions? I'll link with you. Yeah, you can link with us, whenever y'all want to link. Email. I know the email, sometimes they get bagged up on me, so y'all forgive me. Sometimes it may take for y'all to send me a few of them. I got like 4 emails, 4 email addresses. They all come to my phone too. Sometimes you get caught up. What ain't no thing. Anybody want to come down, you understand, for the Feast of Dedication. It's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So y'all get with TT Noy on her, Noy Taylor. If she's still on her, she probably at work sneaking watching this. You know what I'm saying? But y'all get with Noy. I ain't see a Aniya on her either, so. But it's all good. That's right. America is marked for judgment. I feel you. I feel you. Okay. Still doing War Wednesday. Yeah, we doing that tonight, man. I just ain't figured out like which topic is gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be about the Sabbath or I don't know, whatever controversial topic is in Israel. But yeah, that's going down tonight, y'all willing, man. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, Noy Tay is still on here. Hey, Kanoy, go ahead and drop your email one more time for anybody that may want to get in touch with you for the Feast of Dedication. They've been working hard. I want to, matter of fact, salute all the brothers and sisters that have been working real hard behind the scenes, man. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here in St. Louis. A lot of people don't understand. So for the brothers and sisters that's been in the WhatsApp group, Feast of Dedication, getting stuff together, and I salute, man. I salute, you dig? Because preparation is something that's really needed. You dig? And a lot of us, we try to wing certain things. So when I seen brothers and sisters take the bull by the horns and say, all right, well, we're going to be a committee and we're going to start doing that, that's what's up. You understand? I know, and that's part of coming together too, making stuff work. You know what I'm saying? You may disagree about a few things, but we know we got to do this feast though. You dig? The feast still got to happen, regardless if we disagree or not. So the brothers and sisters sat down, you dig, and start chopping it up about the feast, the menu, the timing, the money, the coordination, the place, and it's manifested. Think it or call it, create it, form it, make it. That's Isaiah 43:7. That's the process of all manifestation, right? It goes from something invisible, such as thought, and you start creating it, writing it down. Then you start forming it. You start scratching off all the stuff you wrote down until you got a final product. Call it, create it, form it, make it. Isaiah 43:7. That's the process for all manifestation. You understand? Take it from the invisible to the visible. Real rap. Hey, I heard about that too, Rock. Some say Israel is on this side of the world in Peru somewhere. Some say it's over there. We'll see. I got brothers actually over in Israel to say the land is supernatural, like our land is living. You feel me? So I mean, we're gonna have to compare geography and all type of stuff to make it. That's a bold claim, even down to the claim of Jerusalem is in the land, but it's not where everybody looking at. That's another claim that a lot of people out there saying. It gotta be proven. You dig? I would for real chop up with somebody that actually lives in the land as opposed to a YouTube video. You dig? Because it's much different when you're in the land and you got to deal with the science of geography. You got to deal with maps and all that. And, you know what I'm saying? Archaeology, that's way different than just watching the YouTube video. You feel me? So, yeah, that's a good controversy. I'm already here. New moon is the Sabbath. That's one too. Okay, yeah, the verse that they misuse for Thanksgiving is Colossians 2, 6 through 8. You see the phrase Thanksgiving, but it has nothing to do with, yeah, all you gotta do is look it up. It has nothing to do with the third Thursday or the fourth Thursday. It's Colossians 2, 6 through 8. And go over the idol food. Yeah, the things that's needed for idolatry. The idol, for y'all that don't know, the Queen of Heaven is being worshipped during Thanksgiving. When you watch what's called the Macy's Parade, all you gotta do is watch it. You're gonna see they got a float, right? And it float right through there. Right. And there's all type of people dressed up beside of it and throwing flowers and doing all type of stuff. So that's the idol, the Queen of Heaven. In Jeremiah 44, verse 16 through like 24, you're gonna see that's the same thing, the same worship that we fell into when we was in Egypt. Queen of Heaven. The Most High got at us for that. You understand? So you got the Queen of Heaven, right? You got the idol. You got the sacrifices offered to the idol. When you watch the football game, you're going to see at halftime, they're going to honor the troops, all those who have sacrificed their lives. You got the idol, you got the sacrifice, you got of course, you got the food. That's what Thanksgiving all about. You got the food, and then you got the festivities. All this to honor a false deity. You got the horn basket of fruit. You ever seen a horn basket of fruit? You understand? That's called a cornucopia. That's something that's offered to a false god. It's just what it is, man. And some of the stuff they get actually out the scriptures, but you feel me? It's a few things that's used to pervert that. So that's what it is. You got the idol, you got the sacrifice, you got the food, which is the feasting. You got the festivities. Time to play, huh? That's what that's about. All right. All the scriptures yeah, you know what? I got them. I just have to post the scriptures that I use. We're gonna have to post when the video, because I don't think they all. I got them on my computer. I just gotta copy and save them, and then I can post them once they come back up. Like once the video process, I can just put it in the, what I'm saying, the comment and go through it. They had people trying to say Mashiach is the worship of another god. It's false. It's false. That's false. So when is it? Okay, you screen share that. The Macy's Parade. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, all y'all gotta do. Malachi, the Holy Land is where the scripture said it is shallow, my brother. I know some people saying the Sabbath ain't on the seventh day, it's dictated by the moon. You start teaching your short legged. I started teaching my short legged as soon as they came out the womb. Understand? I don't even delay. Even try, a lot of us have nowhere to go. Yeah, you gonna deal with that. Like that's another thing. Like in the Sabbath, that's a salvational issue too, man. That's you was killed if you violated the Sabbath back in the day. So that should be a good one up for debate. Us around here, we do Friday night to Saturday night, or Friday evening to Saturday evening. But if you don't like the names that I said, well, the evening of the 6 days, the evening of the 7th day. But then you got some people saying Sabbath is from sun up to sun up. And there's a lot of controversy thing, and that's why we got the War Ready Wednesdays, man, because everybody don't have the same information. We got the same book, but we all come from different schools of thought. You understand? And whatever belief you got, you should be willing to have it tested. You should be willing to try your sword. You understand? What's the worst thing that can happen? You find out you was wrong and you correct you understand? You correct your wrongdoing. So that's what that's about. That's what that's about. You feel me? And there's so much Israel's divided on. And you don't want to get in the spirit of I'd have ended that with one scripture. Look, man, it's so many different schools of thought within Israel. You understand? What you mean you would have ended the debate with one scripture? No, you wouldn't have. Because his brothers out here, they got just as many scriptures over here. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be willing to hear your brothers and sisters out and then bring out what it is that the Most High is dealing with you on. And we can see if it stands. You see? That's what it's about, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to get all uppity and act like you the only one that got it. Because yeah, I done seen people slip up. I done seen brothers that can't even defend what it is they believe. You can't defend it, but you run around here saying that everybody, the thought process of everybody else is wrong, but you can't defend what you believe. You feel me? Biblical marriage versus Hebrew Christianity marriage under Melchizedek priesthood versus Leviticus. Okay, that'll be a good topic. How can the Sabbath switch days? It would fall the same day every week. If you count the 7 and start over, it should always be the same day. No doubt. I feel you. Any of y'all want to get in the cage, let me know now. You know what I'm saying? We can swing that sword. Oh, debate about reincarnation. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Matter of fact, hopefully we can find that tonight. With buying things on Black Friday, we taking part in Thanksgiving. I would just say, bro, don't get caught up in the spirit of Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, watch, you going to see the video, somebody going to die tomorrow. Or somebody going to die Friday. You know what I'm saying? More than likely, somebody's going to get long stomped out and die. People going to be fighting and all that. Stay away from the spirit of reveling. If you just trying to go catch a sale or something, you know, again, y'all, everything online too today. Get on Amazon and go buy your stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Just don't guard yourself from this Christmas spirit, this whole spirit around this time, because it's not of the Most High. You understand? Now, if you're just saying I'm trying to go buy something for the house, and I understand that. You understand? It's guard your spirit. You know whether you compromising or not. You understand? A lot of people come up with excuses so they can compromise. I'm not one of them brothers. I'm just gonna call it what it is. All right. Very important to know when it is. That's right. That's right. Yeah, acting like home run hitters with one script. Man, stop it. You feel me? Most of every fight that you watch is not a first round or the one punch knockout. It's just what it is, man. You gotta have endurance to endure to the end, fight to the end. All right. Well, that's what it is, man. I'm about to go ahead and end with a prayer. We're gonna do Psalm. See how many what percentage I got on this phone. All right, so y'all get on up, face Jerusalem. I'm gonna read Psalm 101 for the prayer, and we're gonna close out. All praise and glory now to the Most High. Bobby, you was part of that. Getting caught up in them Jordans, huh? All right, Psalm 140, Psalm 101. Get up and face Jerusalem with the Most High permission. Psalm 101. All right, let me pick it on up. Everybody face Jerusalem. Everybody face Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim. All right. Psalm, the 101st chapter. It's taking time for this phone to pull up. Hold on one second. That little girl like that crying. Hold on, y'all. It ain't pulling up. Give me 1 second. It's pulling up. It's pulling up. It's pulling up. All right. All right. Psalm 101 with the Most High's permission. Hallelujah. Psalm of David. I will sing of mercy and judgment unto thee, O Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. What will I sing? I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside.
I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A forward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that having a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of Yahweh. Allah, Lord Yah, Salah, Yahoo, Yahoo. All right, family. Take this on down. Go back here and regulate this little girl. She thinks she running something. Have to get her together early. All right, bang, bang, bang. All right, y'all. So look, Yahoo, long live the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And again, y'all, thank y'all for all y'all prayers and y'all support. May the Most High, creator and owner and possessor of all things, increase you and cause his face to shine on all y'all, man. I love y'all indeed and in truth. I'm your brother Malachi Maccabee. All praises to the Most High and long live his anointed son forever and ever, who's currently sitting at his right hand right now as we speak, waiting to get orders from his Father to bring the heavenly host, you understand, and bring judgment, get us together, gather us, and bring judgment to the world. So, you understand? Oh, happy day. Most High be with us all, y'all. Shalom.